was hilarious.
All right, guys, we're live.
We're live.
Are we live? So to those of you just joining us, I could tell you right now that we were talking about the upcoming D&D movie that's currently being cast in Hollywood with a bunch of big name stars attached. And it is my opinion, well, Catherine agrees with me, that for sure it has to be a movie about a bunch of people sitting around a table playing D&D. Because otherwise it's just shitty, generic,
fantasy.
PG fantasy movie, which is, they're not going to make a rated R D&D movie with like people getting their hands cut off and stuff. So it's going to be a generic, shitty, just like the D&D movies they've made already. So, and I also think it has to use recognizable D&D IP, like the Forgotten Realms or whatever, any of the realms that have existed that are somewhat known in D&D, because otherwise, again, it's just generic fantasy. So that's just what I think. And so there you go. You're getting your money's worth tonight, people. Are we live? Are we on the internet?
We're on the interwebs.
Okay, cool. I'm looking at it, but I don't see it because I suck at this. Oh, here
I see it.
We're good. Okay. I am Richard.
I'm going to
It
share
says,
this.
hang tight, Hub is almost live.
Nope, I see it.
I suck.
I will post on my Instagram. I tried to set up an ad, but it's stuck in review. Facebook's being a pain in the ass.
You tried to set up an ad on Facebook?
Yeah, to do like a story ad so we can turn it on when the stream's on and people can like just swipe up to automatically.
That's really cool. So I did an ad for because I follow wedding photographers and stuff, and one guy's like, do an ad, and do it this way, and here's a template, and then it'll reach lots of people and you get lots of customers. So I did that, and for wedding photography in my area, and all I got were like 2 hits from brides who were asking questions about about my prices and things like that, and who basically ghosted after I sort of talked to them. And looking at their profiles, both of them were like super right-wing, anti-masking, like just terrible people. Oh. And in my opinion, who I think are terrible people, and I thought this is, and these are the only people that I was able to reach. I tried to do another one for boudoir photography, and it was like, which I thought was pretty tasteful. And there was no nudity in it, but it was declined. It was turned down by Facebook because it violated their community standards. So.
JS, what's your Instagram? You are on Instagram, aren't you?
Arkwin Audiobooks.
Huh?
Arkwin Audiobooks.
I don't need to see the screen. Don't worry about it, Bean.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
In my recap from last week's Humblewood game, I have Fios, the cleric, is fighting hard at a slight disadvantage because there's a cat making biscuits on her mouse pad. It's like a cat, just quite funny. Broke the fourth wall. That's what should be in the D&D movie, right there. Like the cleric, miscast her spell.
Meta gaming.
And then the camera like slams back to the player, spilling her drink on her character sheet or something. Anyway. But no one's ever going to listen to me. So
Yeah, like an epic moment, and then it's like, just a second, I dropped my dice, it's on the floor.
Yeah. Well, that was another moment in last week's game where Gian was having a big character moment, and you guys and Catherine, you drew a popcorn on the map, and your guys were all eating popcorn while watching him have his character moment. Pretty good. Okay, so I'm still watching Nico N.M. Howell's thing, and it's not showing this week's game.
Well, it's for me. I see it.
Yeah, I don't see it. Okay, anyway, so
do you need
if you assure me that it's running, I will launch into my spiel. My name is Richard Dufault. I am the game master for this game called Hub. This is a world where there are many, many other worlds that are connected to this world through portals, which have been closed for 35 days, 36, 30-something days, a bunch of days. And you have started off working for a local councilman Klaus Wilhelm. You found a few relics of one of his ancestors, which you equipped yourself with. And gave him a relic that he used to secure his position in the city council. You, not through any doings of his, you murdered, you captured and he murdered, or he executed one of his rivals in council. So you helped him with his position when you took out the slavers who were operating under the law in the Red Guild. Since then, you traveled to a nearby island and visited Port Denver in order to follow up the trail of wrongdoing, a ship that had escaped from the time that you attacked the Red Guild, the Swan. And you tracked the Swan back to Port Denver and ran into some trouble there. You faced I forget the order of events, but the Swan sailed away, and you went and confronted the guild master of the dock master, Master Goaletta, to find out where the Swan had gone. That's right, the Swan had only been gone for a few hours. There you fought. Well, Master Goaletta immediately ran away, flew away, but you fought his partner and hireling, the Red Dragonborn. Forget his name. He just about killed some of you with his fiery breath, but you took him out. From there, Aiden's. I guess I should have let you guys introduce yourselves. Oh well.
Yeah, keep going.
Aiden, played by J.S. Arquin. He's a water air genasi something. Air genasi druid. Yes, that's right. Yeah, my Twitch is just, it's not seeing anything. So
I see it.
of Nico and Hal. Never mind, I see it. Okay.
Oh, great.
I see it now. Anyway, so Aiden sent his familiar, a smoky hawk named Smokey, to follow Master Goaletta, who flew to a nearby island that had buildings on it, and was known. You found out that it was called Storm Island, and so you went there. You found caves underneath with some goings on, and also a ship on the other side of the island that you didn't get a good look at. It was dark. You went on the island, fought some guards, rescued some slaves that you found. I forgot to mention that you rescued some slaves also back in Hub. You rescued a bunch of air genazis, as well as a crystal demon that was entrapped in a magic circle. In this place, you found a bunch of sand genazi, who are the earth equivalent of the air genazi, who had been imprisoned, or who had been brought here on a ship called the Marsopa, a ship known to Jackie. Jackie is a human ranger who was recently reunited with her blue crab, not called Blue, but called Bandit. Yes, that's right. So the two familiars are called Smokey and the Bandit. You chased, so the Marsopa, of course, sailed away, leaving you stranded on the island. A kobold that you had rescued, who was chained up with the slaves, or nearby the slaves, offered for you to use his ship, the Surprise, to chase the Marsopa. He assured you that it was fast enough, and that it only capsized half the time that he tried to use it. And so you used the Surprise, which is an ugly little, almost round boat that had very poor sailing qualities. A couple of sailors that you met in town joined you, Shaw and Maxim, and you sailed after the Marsopa. The Surprise turned out to be a very surprising ship. As soon as you got up to a certain speed, she rose up on these wings that were built underneath the hull, and turns out that she is a hydrofoil sailboat, capable of tremendous speeds, but very tricky to handle. Luckily, Jackie, being a ranger in her element, and also being skilled with ships, was able to pilot the ship quite handily, and you caught up to the Marsopa very rapidly. There was a small problem when you decided. Well, no, there was a small problem catching up to the Marsopa. The captain, Captain Devereaux, on a larger, slower ship, was still quite wily, and he managed to steal your wind and caused the Surprise to crash to a halt, only injuring Aiden, who had been hanging out in the rigging. Your ship ran into the Marsopa. You boarded the Marsopa. The Marsopa's crew boarded you. You fought. Aiden threw Captain Devereaux into the water 3 times, I think, and also Rose Devereaux, who is an old shipmate of Jackie's, was also thrown into the water once or twice. At the end of that scenario, Jackie blew the back of the captain's head off when he was basically surrendering, and she just killed him because, well, she knows more about him than the rest of you do.
Because she's dead.
Rose was stuffed into a water-filled barrel to bring her back to town for questioning. Rose being a water genasi and thus extremely dangerous on the water, you felt the only safe way to transport her was to stuff her unconscious into a water-filled barrel that she could breathe, and then dump her out once you were on land. This you did. You brought her back to Port Denver, and I think you took your long rest before you did that. I can't remember. Or no, she wasn't in the barrel for like 8 hours, was she?
No, we went there, and before we took a rest,
we put her in a room.
Got her allegiance.
Okay, yeah. So you dumped her out. Well, it turns out it was a barrel full of pickle water, and now she's pickled. No. So yeah, you dumped her out.
Jackie's stoked.
Jackie, knowing a bit about her, and all of you doing some good insight checks, you realize that she's well, even though she served on slaver ships, she's the kind of crew who's loyal to the captain, and you know, damn all else. So she's willing to call Jackie captain. And she revealed a few things, particularly that someone called Lorelei, the Red Lady, is still alive. Her ship, the Phoenix, was destroyed by fire, but it also still exists somehow. She hasn't been seen in over 30 days in these waters, which means that she and the Phoenix are probably not in this realm, or if they're in this realm, they haven't been seen since the portals closed. So she's probably not in this realm. Another clue was that in Captain Devereaux's correspondence, some of his letters, they looked like letters that he received from people, but they were written in his own handwriting, almost like he was hearing them and then writing them down with his eyes closed, like in that spidery handwriting. So he was clearly receiving messages from somebody in his head, which can be done across the planes, as it were. So if the Red Lady is still alive and is in another plane, she could be communicating. And the messages that Devereaux was receiving was that the Red Lady wants Jackie back. She's been gone long enough. Time to get serious. And she also said to Devereaux that he could have her pistol, which was a matched one to her other pistol, or which is similar to the pistol that she has. And so it is now. You've now had your full rest. You are in whatchamacallit, Port Denver. And what do you want to do now? I'll bring you back to the map where you have all the people. Well, where you are.
So now we've had a full rest.
Yeah, so in the morning, Maxim and Shaw come to you and they say, "We found some crew members. If you're interested in doing interviews now, before we go, like I said, we really need more crew on that ship. Came close to capsizing a couple times, Captain."
Okay, hang on.
Jackie's the captain, right?
Yeah.
Jackie is the captain. Although technically on a small ship, like this is a 60-footer, Skipper is a good name, but Captain...
I don't like Skipper.
Like, yeah, like the
Skipper.
Captain in Pirates of the Caribbean, he says, "There's a captain in there."
If you're the skipper, can I be Gilligan?
Skipper, Gilligan, Smokey, Bandit, we got this. Alright, well, so I think, well, our plan was, didn't we were hoping to go to Hub, but that might be a good time while we're there to make sure that our boat is well manned and we've got a proper crew.
So you want to get your crew in Hub? I will just cut and paste all these people to the Hub map.
Well, that was what we were thinking, right? Long rest and then go spend a day in Hub, I think, right?
I think we need to move on to Cool Shell and the Lame One.
Yeah, like we needed to go catch them. Like, do our shit with them, and then we were gonna head over to
The Titan's Teeth
yeah,
later.
But we got some business to take care of first.
Because I'm pretty sure there's fire genasi right now with the lame one in hub.
Yeah.
So Shaw and Maxim look at each other, and then Shaw's the one who admitted that he worked on slaver ships before. So he kind of shrugs and he says, "Well, this is where we find out if the captain's going to cut my throat for speaking my mind. But can I speak my mind, Captain?"
Of course.
Me and Maxim, we don't know anybody in Hub, so we can't help you hire a crew there. These people here are all people that we know. We only need 6.
Aren't Shaw and Maxim from Hub? Isn't that where we met them?
No, they're tender crew from here.
Right, okay. Those are the other little kids. Okay, well.
Yeah, those are children. These are adults. Yeah, so they're like, it won't take overly long. All of the people that are here now, me and Shaw or me and Maxim, we can vouch for them. We've worked with all of these folk.
So we should hire.
I mean, if we could swing it, I'd hire all of them. But 6 is the minimum that we need. Oh, I also made a mistake with the amount of the life insurance. Because it's a silver economy, instead of 1,000 gold pieces each, is that what I said? It'd be 100 gold pieces each.
Oh shit! That is so much more doable because we already gave enough to have 2,000 put aside, split between the 3 of us.
Yeah.
And how much did we put that in a common stores last time? Because I didn't add it to my.
I just got rid of it.
Jackie Jackie hasn't spent any of her money.
Well, no. So how much did we get from that?
Oh, we gave 667 each.
Oh, that's how much you each gave into the fund? I think I see JS is not saying anything either. He's like, I didn't.
And how much did we get each?
I
just don't think I updated my sheet. That's why.
I think the treasure is in a sheet that I gave you guys.
So that would be we need to 6 people plus Sean Maxim, or 6 people in total, other than us.
I think he just said 6 more crew. I think.
So for 8 people.
Yeah.
So 800 divided by 3. So we have to give 267 instead of 667.
I've got 367 gold marked down is what Jackie has. Does that sound right?
Seems low. Catherine, do you remember how much you gave to everybody? Because if you look at the Mariposa treasure, there's,
Well, right now I have $1,233 after giving the 200. And 67, whatever.
2,800, 4,000, 5,000. Because you got 6,000 gold pieces on the Mariposa.
Yeah.
But we give a big chunk of it away to...
Is it 6,000? No.
Something like that. It was a lot.
That's 1,000. 2,800. 3,800. 3,800 plus 200 is 4,000. 5,000. 6,000. 6,000. Yeah, 6,000 gold pieces.
Okay. And then how much did we give to... What's his face?
Well, normally you would give half, so you would have
you would have half to Cobb.
You would have had 1,000 gold pieces each, plus the magic armor and stuff that you found and so on.
Like I had 1,500 before I gave away 270 whatever.
Okay, so
I'll just if you want to write down that you at least got 1,000 gold pieces in this last session.
Okay, I'm just gonna add 1,000 to my gold, and I'll dig back through and get the exact numbers after.
Maxim and Char are like adventurers. Never know how much money they have.
Oh, I always know exactly how much money I have.
Okay, so that's totally doable then. I say we hire a good crew.
Absolutely.
But we need to make sure that they're people that we can trust, and that trust us, more importantly.
So you guys are like, down in the basement having breakfast, or you're on the ground floor having breakfast. This would be the next morning, and Maxim and Shar says, "Well, these folk are all waiting outside. If you want to interview them or whatever, I don't know how you want to.
Okay. Do your thing, Capitan.
How you want to do it? What do you think?
Well,
I think it's gonna have to be based on like sailing abilities, I guess.
Well, and also, okay, so
And are you willing to like always be in danger? Because you will be.
we also should get as much information about the Titan's teeth in that whole area as we can, and make sure that this crew's going to be able to hold their own there and benefit us.
All right. So, do you want to like? I mean, and this could take as much time as we want. This could be a fun role playing thing. So Shaw says, "You want me to like bring in the first one, and you guys can talk to him." I already picked people that I knew that I already know were up for some, for shenanigans, as it were, or
Well, why don't we do a trial run to get to Hub as like an interview on the boat?
with all of these people?
What do you think? Well, how many?
you offering them?
There's like a lot of people.
Are you offering them? Shaw says the ship can handle 9 more crew. There's no problem. I'm talking minimums here.
Okay.
So if we had 11 crew plus all you folk, I think that would be great.
All right,
So
well,
we have to put
what do
in
you guys
more
think?
money.
That sounds good to me.
I can put in more money, I guess.
Okay.
So if it's 100 gold each, and that's what? How many of them? Including...
Well, that was 800,
Well, there's 9 more people there, so
and so now another 200.
I say probably better safe than sorry. What do you guys think?
I'm gonna put in another 200 so that it's.
I also.
Or not a. Okay. I had put in 267 because that was 800 divided by 3 because there's 3 of us. Right? Right?
I think so, unless you're counting your little buddy embedded in your neck as a person.
So now they want 11 total, right? So 9 plus Maxim and Shaw, so 11.
yeah.
1100 divisé par 3,
But
367.
Maxim and Shaw say this is only if you hire them. Like you can pay them a just a one voyage fee. I'm sure some of them would be happy to go back to Hub. After the slave trade was killed over here, I'm sure a lot of tenders are going to be out of work. So unless you plan to hire them,
I don't mind having like a full crew.
Yeah, I say, why don't we hire them all? We'll head to Hub.
Yeah.
That'll be the trial run. If anyone then wants to stay there, that's fine. And if anyone,
their families will collect their life insurance.
well, we'll pay
So
them just the one way.
So we each have to put in 367 for it to be 1,100 divided by 3.
Sure. Do we still have our little goblin dude with us too?
It's his boat.
He stayed in the boat.
Okay.
He's our resident.
You're hoping he's going to fix up your guns for you.
Yeah.
So as it is now, you have 2 guns. Oh, did you did you make changes to your character? I realize I should have done that probably, but
No, I didn't add the second gun in yet.
Well, functionally, you just click on your first gun; it'll be the same as your second gun. But if you want to use the dual weapon thing, we'll have to change your character because you won't have +2 to hit anymore. But you will get 2 attacks, and you realize that as soon as you hit
we
fifth
did. We did. We figured out how to do both. Remember?
Oh, if you took a feat, if you took the dual fighting feat, okay,
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, because when you hit 5th level, you're going to get the full attack action, which gives you 2 attacks. So you're going to have 3 attacks per turn when you hit 5th level with your guns.
Sweet.
Your offhand weapon never gets an extra, doesn't get multiplied along with your main.
Okay, that's awesome.
Anyway. So I know you were very concerned about not being able to do as much damage as the other characters. So
Jackie's just not very patient.
Okay.
Cool. Can we add that in though, like a double one, just so it has its own name?
Sure. Would you like me to do that immediately?
Well, no one ever.
Jackie's like, yeah. Jackie.
And that gun's name is Hill, not Jack.
It's Hill? Hill and Jill? Okay.
Jill and Hill. Jackie and Jill went over the hill.
Jill the pistol.
Jilly and Hilly.
Do you still have? So you have.
I'm so excited to kill something. I can't even.
So as it is now, it looks like you took dual wield as the ranger thing, and you didn't. I don't think you took that feat.
Yeah.
Oh, you took the fighting style.
I thought we did this together, didn't we?
You took a feat. Oh, you took the feat. Okay. But where is your fighting style?
Dual wielder, it says here.
Yeah, I should have done this before we started. I'm sorry.
Are these our crew lined up around us? Are these prospective crew members? Is that who all these people are?
Yes. You can ask questions about them.
You even gave them all names. You oh my god.
Yes, they have stats and everything. They're fully. I drew little drawings of them.
Oh, that's
I hope
amazing.
like the drawings of especially Olivier. Olivier looks kind of like a caricature of a black person. So I hope I didn't fuck that up.
I love it.
Yeah. So I can go through them. I can describe all of them if you like. But yeah. So. Because I'm finding that, so you have archery. Oh yeah, you have +2 for archery. Okay. It's because your bonus to hit is 3 for dexterity, 2 for proficiency. That's 5. You should have more than that.
Here, I'll just.
You're proficient.
Faster.
Didn't even say that.
Because it only shows that you have +5 on your pistols, but you should have more than +5.
Okay.
+3 for dex, +2 for proficiency. Like you don't have your ranger thing, which is checked. Like it's checked. I don't know what's not adding it.
I think Olivier looks fine. He looks
Oh no,
good.
+2. Okay, no, it is there. Okay, never mind. Okay, we're good. And there's also and see, and
Wow,
that's the
good
thing.
thing every. No offense. Good thing every lady on this crew is wearing red, and so they'll never know which one the red lady is.
Yeah, the men.
Jackie
No,
will be
Ilana is a female elf, and she's
yeah.
but she's very
cool.
androgynous.
It's all part of our plan. I am the red lady. No, I am the red lady.
It's me.
I am the red lady.
Yeah. Everybody don your red cloak.
And then all the red ladies are crucified. Well, that didn't work. Yeah, okay.
Okay, so go ahead and tell me who, what, and how you say this name. Bloop.
That's a burp.
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 He's a grung.
Burp.
So I don't know if you shake hands with people, or if, I guess you don't shake hands, but the burp, when you talk to him, he stands far away from you and he shies away. Like he always. It's like he's afraid you're going to hurt him. And Shaw says,
I might.
Burp is a grung, and his skin is poisonous, so he doesn't.
Oh.
He's afraid you're going to touch him.
Can I be
He is immune to
poisoned?
poison. He is immune to poison, but we have to splash a bucket of water on him at least every couple of hours, otherwise he dries out.
Oh, good. Got it.
Yeah.
So maybe it's a good thing that he's on a boat. I'm gonna give Vigilant Blessing to Aiden.
Vigilant blessing.
Advantage on your initiative.
All right. Sweet. Sweet.
Attack dice,
That's
range.
sweet.
I'm just doing Jackie's second gun.
Is that for how long?
Until you use it.
Oh, you get to use it one time for initiative, so don't waste it.
Yes.
So basically, next time we fight, I have advantage on my initiative.
Cool.
Exactly.
Okay.
And the gun is called Hill.
Yeah.
Okay, Jill. I'm going to go back to Jill. I'm just doing Jackie's second gun.
Is that for how long?
Until you use it.
Oh, you get to use it one time for initiative. I'm hearing
So
voices.
basically, next time we fight, I have advantage.
Oh
on my
man.
initiative.
Yeah.
20.
That's my fault.
Exactly.
Proficient 1d8 plus
God,
dex.
Nico, you're supposed to be smarter with the glasses.
If anything, I feel like I'm more like mentally withdrawn because I can just. It feels weird. Like there's something blocking my.
You're more
Like
mental.
You hide behind the glasses.
So, when you have both guns together, like you have them on each hip, you're holstering them like a gunslinger. you realize that when they are together, they are a +2 weapon. So
Holy shit. Yeah, so fuck that other lady that you took these from.
hang on. You are level 4. Sorry, they are a +1 weapon. That's what I meant to say. Shit.
Sure.
There you go. So you're done. Yeah. So I can tell you. Do you want to look at some of these crew? Because I mean, yes.
Yep. Let's go through the intros.
So Thanagar.
So we just hired all of these. Well, okay, so we have 100 gold each put aside in case they like fucking die, right?
So I'm gonna
And
offer
then
them
they're
one
gonna
way.
get paid by the gold that we get
They're
on our
hired.
conquests,
What
right?
about interviews? How do we know they're going to be good crew?
Yeah.
Aiden just
we've
wants to
hired
stir
them.
up some shit.
So I think what Jackie's offering them is a gig, a one-way gig to Hub as like a trial interview run.
One-way gig. You fuck up, we're just going to abandon you there.
We're dumping you
might-
off in the most dangerous city in the world.
That's right.
Yeah.
You fuck up, you might not even make it to Hub. We might just throw you overboard.
It's the risk.
Yeah.
That's how we roll. Yeah, let's go
Right,
down the
so-
list. Okay, Thanagar.
So Thanagar. Let's see.
Strapping young lad.
So Thanagar is a non-binary orc. Half orc. No, this is a non-binary orc.
Already
Slim,
fucked it up.
has no tusks. Well, basically, is dressed functionally but very poorly. And Thanagar is like, yes, I'm very pleased. I'd be really happy to have this job. I'm not afraid of danger. I've been in many fights. So all of these crew have the sailing proficiency, just like Jackie has. And they're all proficient in light crossbow, scimitar kind of thing, various degrees. Some are more dexterous, some are stronger.
We're gonna ask
Thanagar
him,
says-
why do you want to be part of this crew?
What's
you're
your
doing
purpose?
the what's my greatest weakness question.
No, what's your purpose? Jackie needs to know their motivation.
Yeah, why do you want to be on this crew? And also, are you okay being in really bad danger often?
I've served the Shaw and Maxim. We know about you and how you rescued some slaves, and so I would be very happy to also serve on a ship that is shading against slavery. That would be really nice.
Fuck yeah, Thanagar. Fuck yeah.
Yes.
All right. Check.
My greatest weakness is I always give away my money to the poor.
Well, that's stupid.
You're not hired. Yeah, and so like I said, they're dressed kind of scruffily, That's Thanagar. Dee Dee. So is that okay? Do you have any more questions for Thanagar?
No.
I've been serving in the tenders, but
I
I'm
think
worried
we're probably
that,
gonna ask the same questions to all of them.
But I think I might not be employed with the tenders for very long.
Okay.
For
Slavery
Thanagar,
means less work for the tenders.
I want to ask them all: are you interested in a lifelong full-time gig, or just a quick bit of work?
I'll actually roll a d20. High is good. He
Oh.
says, well, maybe not for the rest of my life.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So sailors tend to hire on for a tour.
They say.
They tend to hire on for a tour, but they're happy to, he says, well, maybe.
No, they say.
Sorry. Yes. Shit. So they say, well, maybe. They kind of look like they're on the spot. Well, would a year be okay?
Yeah, no time commitment required. I was just curious. Next.
Yeah, just asking.
Okay, well, because you were asking, Captain. So
Cool.
can I ask a question?
Of course.
I'm putting that down, stutters.
We have a stutterer.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. Looking at Jackie, did you really sail with the Red Lady?
It's getting juicy.
Da-da-da.
Well, that lady has done more evil than anyone else I know combined, so I think she's best to be left out of current discussion.
Yep. Did very well, Captain.
Oh shit! Put them in their place early.
All right, so Thanagar backs away, and then in comes Dee Dee. Let's roll character. So Dee Dee, so she kind of comes in, and she's kind of looking at her feet, and she looks up, and she says, "I am Dee Dee, reporting for duty."
Oh, what's Dee Dee?
So Dee Dee
What's
is a
on her
female,
feet?
is a halfling woman. She has
Hair.
fur on her feet. She has like she has like a very
She's a
very
hobbit.
tight curly hair on her feet and on her head.
Nice.
She's a hobbit.
And I realized that I drew like a pirate's kerchief on her head, which looks like a racist thing. So I might change that.
I think
Alright,
it looks
Dee Dee.
nice.
So Dee Dee is a halfling. So she's very small. In D&D, being small makes no difference from being large or for being medium-sized in terms of what you can do. So, but she still weighs like
Humble
60
did it better.
pounds. She's like 2.5. She's like 3 feet tall. She's kind of stout. She's middle-aged.
And what makes you want to work on our ship?
Got to feed my family, Captain.
Where's your family?
I send the money back home.
Where's
they're
home?
in the they're in the Titan's teeth.
Oh, so you know the Titan's teeth, hey?
Oh sure, know the Titan's teeth well.
Yeah, we'll keep you for sure.
Man, don't ever want to go back there. I'll tell you. Just kidding.
Well, what's your family doing there?
Well, they're working they're working on the farms.
And if I told you to kill a stranger because they were a slaver, what would you do?
Holy shit.
We signing on to be buccaneers. If you told me to kill a stranger, well, guess I believe you. I don't know. I like if you just told me to just kill someone right now, points to the waitress.
Yeah.
That she was a slaver. I wouldn't do it, Captain. I don't know if I would believe it. Does that mean I don't get the job?
No, you've got the job.
Oh,
Making note.
I guess that's good. Let's just see her appearance.
I was gonna say I respect that because you don't know me yet. You don't know enough to trust me yet. You're not willing to.
She has
blindly-
she has scarification on one side of her face. You don't know if it's. You're pretty sure it was made from claws, but you're not sure. She says, "Yeah, there's it's the land. There's a piece of land right next to the Titan's teeth where there's farms, and my people live there. The name. I'm from, don't remember where I'm from. Hang on. Just a second here. I'll tell you. It's too small. I can't see it. I'm from Avathin. Avathin is a town that's.
Your volume just got a lot louder, Richard. Did
Yeah,
something
same.
happen?
Oh, really?
Yeah, just bumped up like 5
All
notches. I
of a
don't know what
sudden,
happened.
What the hell did I do?
Did you-
I didn't touch anything.
What have you done?
Like suddenly it's just really loud. I didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, fuck.
I can probably turn it down a little bit on.
Did you boost your microphone volume or something?
No, I didn't do anything. I'm gonna move my mic.
You said.
So my mic stand is like this cheap mic stand. Am I still too loud?
You
It's
sound
a
fine to
little
me, I think.
better, but
I'm just moving the microphone away from me.
You're you're definitely still much louder than everyone else.
It's just bizarre. Why? Did I do
what
something?
have you done?
I don't know. It was weird. It's like mid-sentence. Suddenly,
Yeah.
like, whoa.
Yeah, I heard a big a sound and then noise.
Does it sound loud now?
Now you're too
No.
low.
What does it sound like now? There's
Yeah.
a game
That's
dial
good.
on my microphone, but
That's
I hadn't
good.
touched it.
It's better.
This is good. Okay.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
Yeah, so my microphone stand is like a cheap one. You know, the mic is not like in a spring, is not like in an elastic housing or anything. And the mic stand has these metal springs. It's almost like the springy lamp arms. So I took the springs off because I noticed that every time I would touch my desk, my microphone would go. Boing.
Right. We remember that. Yeah.
So at least you don't get, yeah. So I don't know why my gain just jumped like that. That was weird. Okay. Well, because I picked up my
Gremlins.
book. Because I picked
Gremlins.
up my book, I must have hit the microphone with it. Because I'm kind of rolling up the characters' behaviors as we go. So like I said, so Dee Dee has scars on her face, and so far Thanagar and Dee Dee are slightly put off by Jackie's, Jackie's like, don't talk about the Red Lady, and then Dee Dee's like, if I ask you to kill someone because I said they're a slaver, would you do it? Dee Dee's like,
Mhm.
It's a valid question.
ask me what my greatest weakness is. Yeah. Okay. So Dee Dee says, yes, definitely I will sail with you until we get to Hub, and then hopefully I can stay on.
Oh, and sorry, what do you do? Like, what do you do on the ship? We should probably be asking everyone that. What do you do on the ship?
We're all general sailors. So Dee Dee is a halfling. That means she always gets to reroll natural ones. So she says, because I'm lucky, they often put me like, up in the rigging, because like you can be the best climber in the world. Eventually, if you have to roll a natural one, you're gonna, whereas she rarely gets a natural one. So she says, well, halflings are lucky. So I often do a lot of rigging work. Although I see some people out there that are flyers and climbers. So maybe, I don't know, but yeah, I'm a master sailor.
Cool.
Thanagar is at Thanagar too.
Cool.
Thanagar says I often get the hard duty like during storms and stuff because I don't get knocked out easy. Orcs when they get dropped to 0 hit points instead drop to 1 hit point once per day. So they, like he shows like a big scar on his forehead.
They show.
Once the boom came around. That's right. Once the boom came around and knocked me clean off the boat, didn't drown because I didn't get knocked out. Yeah, they.
Good job.
I'm making non-binary characters, but I can't hold to them. Okay, so next is Rika. Rika is a half elf. Let's see here.
Ooh.
So Rika's wearing, it looks like a uniform. Like apparently a lot of the tenders have like bits and pieces of uniform. They all have striped pants, they've all got like the cummerbund around the waist and the headband and all that stuff. So she seems to have kept her uniform very tidy. She seems like a very tidy person.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she says, I'm Rika.
And what do you do,
Hello, Rika.
I would like to be a sailor on your ship. I heard good things.
What have you heard?
Well, I heard you freed some slaves and slew some slavers.
Certainly did.
What's your background, Rika? Are you more of the fighter type? Or
hang on. Don't know what half elves get. See, half elves are kind of like generic. She says, I'm a skilled rigger, and I think you'll find none better than me for sailing on a steady day. I'm very dependable. Been doing this for 6 years.
do you have any issues with killing slavers?
Well, you got to know, Captain, that we served a lot of slaver ships here in this harbor. In fact, our living depended on it. So
you're familiar.
I'm in the way of knowing that. I know a lot of people who worked on these slaver ships, but I don't think they're bad people. They didn't have a choice. They had to make a living.
Okay.
Sometimes they fell into it the bad way, but.
Interesting. Okay, well, you'd probably be a really good asset.
Well, thank you.
You.
Alright. Oh.
Is it true that your ship is
Weird.
Well, is a strange one? Is a
It's unique.
is it a magic ship?
It's
Does
a
she sail
secret.
normally?
It's certainly surprising.
Well, how is she surprising, sir or madam, or she kind of like,
Well,
because they look at the other PCs and they're kind of like, they're pretty sure this is like, adventurers hiring people to crew their ship, and so they know that it's never the same way. They're willing to go through a bit of risk because they figure they're going to get lots of treasure. Adventurers always get lots of treasure if they don't fall on hard luck.
I'll tell you what. I'll give you a tour once I'm done meeting everybody.
Well, I heard your ship doubled the speed of the Mariposa, which is a fast clipper. So she must be fast.
She's very fast. Zoom, zoom.
Okay, so that's Rika. Burp. Burp comes in. So Burp has big. So Burp. Let me just roll the d20 for their disposition. That's not it. Hang on. Yeah, so Burp comes in and is wearing like caps on their toes. They have long toes on all on all four limbs. And Burp is kind of walking very gingerly on the ground. Burp is very small. Burp is like smaller than a halfling.
What is he again?
Burp. He's is Burp a male or a female? It's hard to know. It's a grung. It has no gender. Grungs, you're not sure how grungs duplicate themselves. Grung is like a joke race that they made up for a one-shot, for like a charity one-shot, where they invited a bunch of famous people to play these silly poisonous toad creatures, or they're like little sticky toads.
Grung.
And so you figure Burp doesn't want to pick up any dirt on their sticky pads, and so just kind of like comes into the room.
Like a little Murloc.
I'm Burp. Burp.
Cool.
Burp looks really moist, and Burp is wearing like an outfit that seems to trap. It's just all wet.
Nice.
I'm Burp.
What draws you to our ship?
Big eyes going. Bloop, bloop, bloop. There's always one eye open, and they're like rotating. Yeah. Sorry. Say that again, Jackie.
What brings you to our ship? What interests you about us?
Burp needs to buy honey to catch flies.
All right, and what kind of experience do you have, if any, in the Titan's teeth?
Titan's teeth.
Been there before?
Never. I'm sorry. Never been to the Titan. Burp is sorry. Burp has never been to the Titan's teeth.
All right. Well, what do you do on a ship, Burp? What are you good at? What's one thing that you are really good at that you're proud of?
I work the rigging. Burp works the rigging. Burp also works on the hull outside the ship. More dangerous for people that aren't sticky. Burp likes to stay down on the hull where it's wetter.
Okay. Cool.
Burp can't get dry. Burp can't be touched.
Okay.
Burp can't be touched? Does Burp have acid skin?
Burp has poisonous skin.
Oh my god.
Maxim kind of speaks up and he says, yes, sir, Burp has poisonous skin.
Wow. That's quite the natural weapon there.
Yeah, it's worse too. He has to sleep out on deck because if he sleeps in the cabin and it gets dry, his skin flakes off, and you're breathing in the nasty poisonous flakes. It's just. I served with Burp, in the tenders. I don't know if Burp's ever been outside of this bay, but they're pretty solid.
If Burp's ever been outside of this bay, how do you know he'll be able to handle the open sea?
Well, only one way to find out, I reckon.
All right. Well.
That's what Maxim says. Only one way to find out,
Okay. All right. Next.
Hang on. So Burp is poisonous. Just gonna roll here. 8. Yeah. Yeah, and you see there's like dirt and stuff stuck to his skin. Like Burp seems to have sticky skin. Their skin. You know, Burp's like Burp wants to make a living. Gotta buy honey to get those flies. Gotta pay for my brood.
I have a question. So poison skin, if you touch him, you take poison damage?
Mechanically, yes. You will get the poison condition, take poison damage. It's pretty bad.
Okay.
It's very bad.
Yeesh.
Burp is sticky, which means Burp can work the rigging and never have to touch anybody, but, you know.
Okay. Shelby.
What if I touch something that Burp has touched?
Maxim says we've never had a problem with that.
Okay.
So somehow the poison doesn't come off. I don't know.
I want to see if our kobold dude might have any ideas on how we can kind of use that, maybe on the sides of the ship or something. Get some poison.
You're gonna like scrape them down to make.
There's gotta be
You're gonna extract
something we
Burp.
can
It's like, hey Burp, you have this barrel you can sleep in. It's full of embalming fluid. Just get in there. Yep. You're pretty sure Burp. Burp is also an amphibian. Burp can breathe underwater and on the surface. So
Cool.
Burp is pretty good at scraping. Maxim says, yeah, the ship I served on, we never had any problem with barnacles. Burp would just eat them.
Sweet.
So yeah.
Okay.
Okay, Shelby, this could be.
Do we have enough room for all these people, plus the 3 of us, plus Cog, plus Rose to sleep?
Maxim says, yeah, Burp and Shelby. Well, Shelby won't be sleeping in the quarters, and neither will Burp. So they can camp out on deck. Everybody else, I check out the bunks. Like you folk can stay in one bunk room, and the rest of the crew can stay in the other bunk room. Plus, we double bunk and we hot bunk, so it's fine. Yeah, so Jackie, you know about this. Like a lot of times they'll just string hammocks up in the middle of the ship to get less tossing, and also they'll hot bunk so that because you're on 8 hours off you're on. I forget what it is now, but you're on like during when you're in service, when the ship is on the water, you don't have any time off. Either you're sleeping or you're working.
Mm-hmm.
And people will just jump out of bed, go to work, or take their grog, go to work, and then someone will get into their hot bunk kind of thing to take their place. So.
But having more people means that we have the living conditions are more fair. Like they don't have to work maybe quite as long.
Yeah, it makes everything easier. It just means the ship performs better.
Whoops.
Did your cat just open the door and turn off your camera? Hello, I want some love. Yeah, so more crew means better performance. Also means you can lose some crew and not run out of crew to make crew your ship. So yeah. Shelby. Shelby. Yeah, so Shelby is fairly formally dressed, and and Shelby is singing a bird song. Shelby is a kenku, which is it's a lot like a Humblewood bird folk, except this is an official D&D race of creatures that were, so Maxim will say Shelby was found in a shipwreck as a chick, and somebody tried to raise it as a bird, but it turned out to be a person.
She can only repeat words?
We're pretty sure Shelby is a person, but Shelby can't talk normally.
Yes.
Shaw says, I served with Shelby. Shelby is a girl. I served with Shelby, and she's a good worker, but it takes some getting used to her.
So what is she? She's a...
So what, Dad? You're just going to have a sheet of things that we say?
Yeah, so Shelby just looks like a little bluebird. And this is a small creature also. So she's like about 3.5 feet tall. Like looking at her, you can't tell how much she weighs, but being a bird, she probably weighs about 40 pounds. So Shelby is a good climber because of her talons. but she can't fly. Her wings are vestigial. She might be able to glide.
Okay.
But she seems to have good eyesight. And yeah, so she comes in and just kind of chirps and stands in front of you. Does she have anything? Yeah, she's good in a scrap, says Maxim. Got into a bar fight. Nobody knew she was there. She knocked the guy out. And anyway, she's but Shelby. We think she's cursed because she can't, like, when she starts talking to people, she can only say stuff that they said to her. Hey Shelby, I'm Shaw. Remember me? And Shelby says, Hey Shelby, I'm Shaw. Remember me? Me Shelby. Me Shelby. Remember Shaw? Me Shelby. Shaw, remember? And so Shelby looks at. And Shaw says, and it's Shaw's voice. It's perfect mimicry of Shaw's voice. And then Shaw says, Here, I'll get her started. You'll say, Jackie is the captain. Aiden and Nadal. Aiden points to and Nadal are the mates. They are the officers of this ship. Shelby says, Captain Jackie, mates Aiden and Nadal in Shaw's voice. It seems she has to restart her vocabulary every time she changes crews. So yeah, and so she goes, She nods. Shaw says, "Do you have any questions for her?"
I have something interesting. I will talk in her mind and say, "Hi, Shelby."
So her big eyes kind of like she stops. That's interesting.
I want to know if she can answer.
So she goes. She tries to speak, and you hear in your mind, "Hi, Shelby." But it sounds very weak. What's that? Sorry.
Because she can answer to the message spell, or because she can also do that?
Well, she's mimicking you, right? So yeah. The rest of you don't hear. The rest of you don't hear anything. And so she repeats. Nadal, mate, Nadal. Me, Shelby.
Aw.
Hi, Shelby.
And so she replies, Shelby, hi. She says this out loud in Nadal's voice.
Cool.
And so she's kind of looking at Jackie now.
Like, what do I do with this?
Alright, well, you're a member of our crew and I'm your captain, so that's all you gotta really remember and do what you're told. Understood?
Understood?
Understood. Okay.
Understood.
Alright. Next.
Crew member. This is in Jackie's voice. It's very strange. Crew member, understood. Shelby, in Shaw's voice. Shelby, in Nadal's voice.
That could be really useful.
She hums a tune like a bird. Sorry?
Could be really useful trying to mess with our enemies. Make a note of that.
Shelby could be very useful. Shelby could be useful. Useful mess enemies.
Alright.
Shelby, does somebody have to talk directly to you, or if you just hear them, you can mimic them?
So again, it's almost like a ransom note. Shelby.
Yeah.
Shelby can hear and speak.
Cool.
Anybody. Cool.
So if she's in earshot, she can do that. Cool.
Yeah, unfortunately, I am no Matt Mercer. So in Critical Role, the party met young Kenku, who was mimicking them all, and it was like, fuck you and stuff, and it's just yeah. Cool. I have a knife. Fuck you. No, go fuck yourself. Yeah. So Shelby's like Shelby.
Okay.
Will you dismiss Shelby?
Yeah, Shelby.
Thanks, Shelby.
Stay close.
Yeah. So Shelby's always humming.
Bye,
always
Shelby.
humming. Olivier comes in. He is a male human. Did I just roll?
Yeah, 8.
Okay. Oh, it's always the same thing. Jeez, no, what's any different? So he comes in and he says, "Hello, Captain. I am Olivier. I will give you good service." And so he's wearing like the white shirt and striped pants of your basic long haul sailing crew. Maxim says Olivier was working on the ferry, and he decided he wanted to come work with you.
He was working on the what?
The ferry, the ferry ship, ferry that you took to get here.
Okay.
Him and Rakti, the other guy who's coming after him.
Cool.
Olivier says, "Yes, I'm looking for better pay and more excitement.
And what?
I'm looking for more excitement. How you say exciting? Excitement."
All right.
Tell me, Olivier, what is the worst battle you've witnessed or been a part of?
Well, Olivier used to be crab fisherman, and so when we would bring our catch back to the docks, there would be a battle among the cooks and chefs who would try to purchase our delicious crab,
All right.
succulent crab.
I'm
And
gonna
so
point to-
terrible battles. So you're pretty sure that he's never seen a real battle.
Yep.
I'm gonna point to Bandit and say, "Do not eat this crab."
He says, "Ah, zut alors! I missed such a succulent crab!" Yes, this crab is big.
But also
right now,
light as
Bandit
a
looks-
feather.
Bandit looks like he's about the size of a garbage can right now. It's like, why is he always different sizes? It's really weird. He says, "You have mascot is a crab. How exciting!"
It's like in Attack on Titan when all the young people are like, "We're so excited to go fight," and then they go fight. Most of them die, and then they come back and they're like traumatized. This is Olivier.
It's the episode when the giant when the giant lady kills like 90% of the entire cast of the show, and I'm yelling,
has
"What the fuck
no
are you
idea.
doing? It's only halfway through the first season. They just killed half the cast in one episode." I'm like, "Fuck
Yeah,
off."
it gets worse near the end.
Oh, I know.
My
Like it's just
God.
like as they get crushed against trees. I'm like, Jesus.
The heck was
This
that?
is Olivier. Olivier has no idea
Yeah.
the shit that's coming.
All
All
So
right.
Olivier seems like a really cheerful guy, maybe bored in his job. Wants
Yeah, not
wants
for
a little
long.
Excitement. Yeah, I don't think Olivier, because he's just a regular human. I don't think he has any special skills, like the. Yep, he's just a sailor. He says, "Yes, I'm good with the rigging and the folding of the sails. Very nice." And so his shtick is that he's a Frenchman.
I can speak French. I don't know if Nadal can.
No, I think he's more like a cartoon Frenchman. That damn river, she's crazy. Yeah, so he seems like a real happy-go-lucky guy. You see if you can break him of that on your
I was gonna
trips.
say he's gonna get
And,
fucked up. This guy.
Yeah, and so he keeps a pretty clean uniform. He's like, "My uniform, she's clean." They're all wearing leather armor basically for combat stats, but yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to keep white shirts clean of blood, but good luck.
He looks a little nervous.
Yep.
Olivier says, "And so, our first cruise is to head back towards Hub."
Yes, we're heading to Hub.
For now.
Take care of some stuff, and then we are off to the Titan's Teeth.
Might I recommend, Captain, that we be careful not to get into the way of the shuttle. That ship is fast, and they do not like competitors.
I feel like we're probably faster, no?
The shuttle, you mean the ferries, or something different?
Yeah, the ferry. Yeah. It's what was it? The Leviathan? I forget what it was called.
Yeah, sounds right.
Yeah.
which is like a big ship with double crew, like with a ton of sail on. It was like the red eye.
All right.
Aren't we faster now?
Olivier says, I would be excited to serve on a ship that was faster than that one.
All right. Well, you'll probably be an asset knowing those schedules and stuff. So, welcome aboard.
Yes. My friend Rakti says I am an asset often.
All right. Next.
Your friend.
Well, so the next guy that comes in is Rakti. He's also a Frenchman. Clearly, it's the same drawing. I just swapped their heads out and then gave this guy like Simpsons yellow skin. It
So he's
seemed
a
like
human
flesh,
as well?
It seemed like a flesh color when I put it on. So he's just like supposed to be a white guy, but his skin came out very yellowish. I'm sorry. Yeah, he's a human also. Similar to Olivier, he served on the Red Eye. He's looking for a little excitement. The two of them seem to be quite buddy-buddy.
Okay.
Cute.
Rakti.
Oh.
Yeah. What brings you to our ship?
He's hang on, Rakti.
Because
Yeah,
that looked
Rakti,
like a
Rakti has like a
pretty good
like
steady
one of
job.
those Horatio Hornblower hats on. I'm sorry, Jackie, you had a question for Rakti?
I'm looking up what the hell that is. Oh, okay, cool. Awesome little hats.
I
Yeah,
could try
what
for
brings
that,
you
yeah.
to our ship? Because it sounds like working on ferries was some pretty good steady work. Why the move?
He says, "Well, I told my friend Olivier that there was more to life than just operating on this ferry that went two ways that just traveled back and forth every day. It was too boring for us. We want something more exciting." Rakti has scars. He looks like he's been in a fight or two.
Okay.
What are your thoughts towards slavers?
He says, slavery is illegal and immoral as well. I've never fought a slaver, but I've fought monsters in the sea.
Oh,
and
shit.
I would be happy to fight for you.
Alright, so you've got experience fighting. That's what I like to hear.
Oh, yes.
What's your weapon of choice?
Oh, my cutlass. He has a cutlass, in a scabbard. Like it's a well. Let's see here. Low means it's well used. It's moderately used cutlass in his scabbard. He seems to be left-handed, and he says, "Honestly, Captain, I want to do well for my family. For my family. I want my family to respect me. As a sailor operating on a ferry, I have not gained much respect."
Like your mommy and daddy, or like your children?
Yes.
All
I
of
guess
the
he's not a
above.
child. So
Where's
well-
your family?
my mommy and daddy. Low means he's close by. My family come from the country where all the French people speak on this continent. I'll have to make one up now.
Okay, so irrelevant to what we're immediately doing.
Yeah, so it's called Galicia. Oh, that's not French.
Et la racine.
It's French Canadian.
Canadian.
Yeah. Anyway, so he comes from the place where all the French accented people come from. Yes, I come from the place where all the people speak cartoon French. Tabernacle.
All right. Well, looking forward to
Okay,
having you
blue.
aboard. Next.
Ilana.
Oh my god, I like her already.
So Ilana is a female elf, full elf, very pointy ears.
So
So
light.
Ilana doesn't sleep. Yeah, so
Dang, girl.
so Maxim will say Ilana's benefits, other than being a strong sailor, is that she doesn't sleep. She meditates
Me too.
for a few hours a night, but doesn't. So that can come in handy. She's very dexterous and good at mending.
Good at what?
Always mending to be done on a ship.
I have mending too, so now I'm starting to not like her. No, I'm kidding.
Yes, like
Back
cantrips
off,
like the mending
bitch.
spell have pretty much, it's kind of like cell phones have destroyed, personal cameras. Mending
But I thought
cantrips
it'd be
have
good on the
destroyed
boat.
mending skills. Yeah. No, mending cantrips are great, but it means nobody wants to do mending, real mending, because the cantrip can just do it instantly. And better,
What?
So Alana says, I am Alana.
And what brings you to our crew?
She says, I grew up in the slums of Hub. There's a quarter where all the poor people live. I forget what it's called now. Anyway, you know how it is. She says, yes, I come from the slums of Hub, and I would like to make the world a better place for everyone. She seems, even though she has humble origins, she seems very haughty and,
I'm gonna look her in the eye and say, have you ever killed anyone?
Yeah, she's from the South Welcome Ward, which is where the poor people get sent when they can't afford to live anywhere after they arrive in this place. It's almost like a refugee camp inside the walls.
And this, sorry.
Have I ever killed anyone?
Welcome
low
ward?
means she's killed somebody.
Oh shit! She's
So her
killed
face-
so many people.
So her face darkens. She's like, yes, I've killed.
So
and again, high means she liked it. Yeah, she's like, and she smiled as she says it. She says, yes, I have killed.
So I
Holy
presume
shit.
you will have no reservations about doing it again if needed. For the right
there's no
cause,
doubt.
of course.
There is no doubt. I will
She
kill
likes
again.
it. She's good.
Maxim
okay.
looks at Shaw and says, "Did you invite her?" She says, "I didn't invite her. You invite her?" "Yeah, I invited her. She's fine."
Okay, I was like, did she just show up?
She's always talking. Yeah. She said, "This is like the tryouts, the cheerleader tryouts." She's like, "I just showed up. I like killing people." Says, "Yeah." She keeps talking about how she's going to kill people, but it hasn't. I don't know. I haven't seen her do it. So
I want to roll insight
sure.
to see if she's killed people. 14.
With a 14, you can give yourself
Guided?
guidance. Yeah, you can automatically give yourself guidance if you're not concentrating on something.
15.
15. You're pretty sure she's killed someone within the past 24 hours. No.
Oh shit! Okay, great. Welcome on board. We should probably get going now.
Yeah, so Ilana's kind of like, so you're offering a position on your ship and you're leaving town very soon? Sounds good to me.
Alright.
Do I have to give you my full name and address? Or?
So she has like a, I mean, the stats for their weapons are all scimitar, which is basically your basic curved sword, but hers is more like it's like a curved fencing blade in the elven style.
Oh.
It's very similar to Aiden's sword, elven sword that he got from the tomb of the lady. What's her name? So she clearly has an elven sword.
Yeah.
And she also has like a small elven bow as well.
Yeah. So my Twilight Sanctuary doesn't have a person limit. So how big is the boat again? From
It's a
front to
60-foot boat, not including the bits that stick out the front and back.
so my 30-foot radius.
Yeah, you can encompass pretty much the whole boat, top to bottom.
Fuck yes.
That's for what? Sorry?
My
For,
sphere that gives temporary hit points, it would apply to all of them.
Okay,
If we're
that's
all on the boat.
Yeah, so if they're not terrified of you guys after just one mission, they're going to be like, the most loyal crew in the universe.
Yeah. Especially Alana.
Yeah,
All
so
right.
so Alana's like, yes. She unconsciously puts her hand on her sword when she says, "Yes, I have killed." And I'm going to do it. I'll try to. And apparently, she really liked it because I rolled an 18. But she doesn't hide it too well. She just kind of smiles. She's like, "I mean, honestly, I'll kill anyone who does that again." So, yes.
All right.
Maxim says, Ilana is a lot like Burp. She doesn't like to be touched.
Same.
And so we respect that. Yeah, same.
Alright. It seems like
Trying
you'll be
to
an
stick
asset to
crystals
our
to
ship.
me.
Next.
And finally, Valiana, a female hobgoblin. So she looks a lot like a goblin, but like 6 feet tall and muscular.
Holy shit.
What do hobgoblins have? Oh, really good in a fight. Yeah, you want Valiana next to you in a fight. She's really good. She gets
Oh my
the.
god.
She does extra damage to people that are within 5 feet of an ally. Like it's almost like pack tactics or martial advantage.
Okay.
And so I don't know. Did I give you guys the ability to see all these characters? I think I might have.
I can see them.
I see all the sheets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can open up all the sheets and look at their stuff. I don't have any secret stuff in there.
Okay.
So I still haven't decided if, for fun, I'm gonna like make some of them be bad or something. I don't know. We'll see.
But I don't see Shaw. Oh, there he is. Okay. He's like separate.
Yeah, it doesn't put them like it sorts them strangely.
No.
So.
He's like separate. Like handouts is in the middle for me, weirdly.
Oh, okay. Yeah. See, I don't know. I have him in a different folder on my thing, so because I created him first, I just cloned him for all the others.
Somebody's missing. Who's missing?
Those are the smalls. Oh, this is a small too.
Olivier's not there. Oh, he's at the top. So somehow.
Yeah, it's strange. It's like they're sorted by loyalty.
Well, because I see Olivier at the top, and then a bunch of handouts, and then Shaw and Richard's test character, and then handouts, and then all the rest of them. Cool.
Anyway, so yeah.
Tell us, Valiana, why are you here?
So Valiana says, "I am Valiana," and she kind of looks at the three of you and turns to Jackie and says, "I am Valiana, Captain. I would like to serve on your ship if you would allow it." And she says, "Yeah." So she takes a knee.
Oh my god, I like all of them.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna roll for her.
I get so attached so quickly.
She says, Maxim told me about this gig, and I thought I would try out for it.
Where are you from?
Lo is close by. I'm not from this realm. I am from the Underdark.
Alright, well, you're very welcome.
Wait, me
here.
too! Me too!
She's like, I'm pretty sure No, you're from Crastal. Anyway, so she's from a realm that's just all. She says it's not a nice place. And I was able to buy my way out.
is in the Underdark, like the Drow.
Oh, okay. Well, when I was able to buy my way out, I did some servitude on a pirate ship. I got to tell you, Captain, right off the bat, we plundered. We did some plunder. We took prisoners. We did everything bad. I got off that ship as soon as I could, and ended up in Hub. Did some strong work for the Red Guild, actually.
What
but
motivates you now?
For the past year, I've been serving on the tenders. I'm honestly more of a fighter than a sailor, but I can find my way. I know which way of a belaying pin is up.
Way is up. I don't know.
Oh, she looks at Captain Jackie and she's like, "Do I show her? Okay, do I show him?" And so she holds it. She holds it so that the pointy end is down. So she's holding it. It looks like she's holding the pointy end, and there's a big. The handle is at the top.
I'm gonna say.
Thank you.
I'm
I
gonna
learned
say-
something. Now I feel like a real sailor.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I'm more of a fighter too. I can't even swim.
Low means she can't swim either. She says, "I'm not a great swimmer."
Oh shit! We're all in trouble.
A lot of sailors aren't swimmers. Master.
That's dumb.
What do we call the Maxim said they're your mates, or they're your officers, but I don't know. I am Valiana. And she takes a knee and bows to Aiden and then to Nadal.
Wow.
Well,
She's tired.
Yeah. So right?
I was gonna say Nadal is gonna like very awkwardly, clunkily kneel as well because they're like, I don't know what the fuck these people are doing here. And then go, my name is Nadal.
What do I call you? What do I call you, Officer Nadal?
You can call me Nadal.
So she looks at Captain Jackie and with an eyebrow up.
What is the name for like a second in command?
Usually you have a rank, like you'd be the ship's doctor, you'd be the ship's purser, you'd be the ship's, the ship's. What is the religious role? The chaplain, the master gunner,
Deputy
just think of any
commander.
position like that. The cartographer, the cook, the carpenter.
I can't do any of those things.
Well, we'll come up with a good title for them. But Jackie's gonna step back and say, "All right, everyone. So this is your trial run. We're gonna be going to Hub.
Let's go.
If that's too much for you, you're welcome to leave there. Otherwise, if you stay on longer than that, then we expect you to be part of this family. This here is Nadal and Aiden, and I expect you to listen to them just as you would
And
listen
Bandit.
to me.
Bandit
And Bandit
is your boss as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been doing interviews for an hour.
So say if I'm not around, these two
Let's go.
are your
Okay,
captain.
because our game has been moving ahead at a very very
Oh my
rapid
god,
pace.
so much fighting.
And I feel like we need to like slow down and just do some role playing and not be in a rush. So because I've really gotten into this like I was doing with the other game that we're doing, which is basically a quick campaign, which has gone on for 20 sessions, but still it's basically has a beginning and an end, and when it's over, that'll be pretty much it. With rapid increase in levels and things like that. And I want this to last longer and not be a big rush. So.
I get
Maxim,
it, but also I don't want to be level 4. I want to be like level 20. I want to be awesome.
And enjoy the journey.
the friends you make along the way.
It's all about the destination for me, man.
So Maxim and Shaw kind of say. So Maxim says we were kind of thinking that we, and I forgot to level them up actually. So these guys have. So basically, your basic sailors are NPCs that have 2 hit dice. Maxim and Shaw will have 3 hit dice after that horrifying battle you just went through, and so they're like.
Oh no, they're so squishy. My temporary
Shaw-
are gonna save all of their lives.
So Shaw thought, to Jackie says, excuse me, I presume that your friends are going to want to be hands off in the chain of command for the ship, or they're going to want to be a part, or not really. Like you're not going to have a master of sail. Oh, like Aiden's not going to be master of sail. Although, sir, I bow to your ability to control the wind.
That could be fun.
I've never seen a boat until 2 days ago.
Yeah. So Aiden, you know which way is up, but
You know which way is up, but I don't know which way is starboard.
That's right. What you don't know far outweighs what you do know. So Shaw says,
I
with
didn't
respect,
know what a boat was until a couple days ago.
well, we're going to call you Master, Master Aiden and Master Nadal. Those are non-generic. Those are generic terms for people who are,
I like that.
who can command the crew if necessary, but don't have assigned duties. Maxim says, Shaw says, I would recommend for Maxim to be Master of Sail, just because you need somebody under you who can relay commands. Yeah, and Maxim says, I recommend for Shaw to be to be the, I don't even know what to call that, the master of the deck, basically.
Giving yourselves promotions, I see. Smart.
Well, they're kind of like,
So sorry, what did they call them? Maxim.
I mean, they already got a pile of cash, right, as a share from the last thing. So Maxim would be master of sail, and Shaw would be master of the deck, or deck master. Shaw says that means if there's a fight, I'm in command of the troops of the crew. whereas Maxim is in command of rigging and sails and stuff.
All right, well, I'll turn to Nadal and Aiden and see, are you guys, does that work for you?
Yeah, and Shaw says, I recommend for Dee Dee to be the morale officer, if you want to call her. She's older. She might have the ear of some folk, and she's able to, she's good with words.
Okay.
So she could be in charge of schedules and such.
Sure.
I wouldn't put Shelby in charge of anything. She's pretty flighty and she can't communicate. But otherwise, she's no solid crew. Got to know your place.
Oh, pretty flighty.
Why you gotta be so rude and Shelby? Here's my question. Last time I asked you to throw the net, and you did so. So if we are in need of some of the crew, are they only going to defer to Shaw as master of the deck?
No. I think no. You folk just don't have assigned duties on the ship. That's why you're just a general master, but you're not.
I guess
you are the
more
sponsor.
in battle.
I mean, your authority derives from Jackie, and you're clearly above all of the crew as well as us. It might be a while before the crew will sacrifice their lives 100%, but.
And then also, Dad, are you gonna roll them all on the same initiative or separately?
They gotta be on the same initiative.
Like
that would be clunky.
it's a lot of people.
Yeah, I don't want to spend 4 hours running, like an encounter with mermaids. It's like mermaids. Yeah.
4 hours for every round.
And you hear Shelby shouting. You hear Shelby saying, "I killed people" in Alana's voice. And she's like flapping around, and it's Alana's like, yeah.
But at some point, Shelby's gonna have pretty much like a full vocab, just in other people's voices.
That's right. She'll be like, I am burp. Don't touch me. I'm poisonous. I am burp. Wet. Splash me down, please. I am burp. I am Olivier. Ha ha. Tabernacle. So.
Cool. Let's set sail.
And so you figure you'll find out pretty quickly if any of your crew have drug problems because you'll find them licking burp. You'll be like, oh. Hallucinogenic frog. Yes. Okay, so this is the crew.
Super cool.
That's a cool. That's a bingo.
Let's go.
Let's go.
So a final question: the $1,100 we have left with who? Zoya? Who keeps that?
Yeah, I haven't figured out the mechanism for that as a GM. Like there might be like an authority on in this port.
Yeah, it was Master Goaletta, and he was a bitch.
Yeah,
maybe
you'd have to find out who the replacement is for Master Goaletta.
Well, can the freedom fighters keep it? Or no? I guess we could retcon later.
Yeah, I think what's the name of the freedom fighter leader person?
Zoya?
Zoya. Yeah, I think Zoya can be the person who will hang on to those things. And so Maxim Sailor, Master of Sail, will say, Captain, I recommend we tell these folk that we are going to be, hoisting the sail in X number of hours to give them time to settle their affairs.
Okay.
Maybe a few hours.
Sure.
The tide is leaving. Well, the tide's going out in 2 hours. That would be the best time for us to leave. This also, maybe as a crew activity, we could race the Red Eye ship, which is also leaving with the tide.
Cool. I'm into that.
Because this ship sails pretty well for short voyages, but I've noticed a bit of strain, and I'd be interested to see if she can maintain that pace for however many hours it takes to get to hub. Nobody's saying anything. He's like nobody's saying anything. Why are you all looking at me?
No, yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
If it pleases the captain, I've never worked for adventurers before. Hopefully that's not a dirty word for you, but damn it, I'm just tired of earning pennies for my work, and I figured this will be risky, but I can retire or buy my own ship after a few tours with you folks. So maybe free a few slaves along the way. Why not?
At least there's a cleric on board.
Yes, because I think they've got Maxim and Shaw have received your temporary hit points, and they're like, they don't know what that is,
yes.
but that's like that's like injecting heroin into your eyeballs. They're like, whoa, you can hit me with a 2x4, I don't feel it. Like just. Whew.
All right.
Just imagine the rush you get from getting
Extra vitality.
clerical. Yeah, that's right. So much life force is so good. Okay, so
We tell them that we're leaving in 2 hours, and then we do it.
all right, so I'm gonna bring everything back to. All right, so I'm just gonna.
Jackie has advantage on her sailing rolls already, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because Jackie is a ranger, and rangers have advantage in their home territory, which is on a sailboat. This is a huge advantage. So I presume masters of sail must be, or captains must be rangers.
I will cast guidance anytime that I can on Jackie for her amazing sailing.
All right, so it means you can't be concentrating on other stuff. You can't have other spells prepared. This is the thing that you do. Whenever you see Jackie is like looks like she's taking a shit, concentrating.
Yeah.
Guidance.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm gonna bring you back to the map. This map with the bodies floating in the water.
Oh, good. So we're racing this boat now?
Yeah. So
Is it bigger than this one?
That it is. Yeah, the red eye is like a full four-masted clipper ship that's like almost 200 feet long. It's a very large, like an American clipper type ship.
Okay, can I ask Shaw how many knots does the big one go?
I think I was when I was talking about knots before. Like the fastest sailboat ever recorded was 50 knots. This happened like a few years ago, and it was like this experimental French, racing vessel. So 50 knots is insane. That's like 70 miles an hour. That's like a crazy speed. I think ships tend to go like 10 miles an hour kind of thing.
And how much does ours go?
Considerably faster than that. You were clocking like 24. Yeah, you were clocking like 24. You're almost 30 miles an hour. In the good breeze when you were racing against to catch the other ship. So that was one thing. So I'm just going to get rid of all these tokens.
Of course, Jackie had to make like 3 sailing checks in order for us to get up to that speed. But
Yep.
That's right. That's because you didn't have enough crew, and she was also inexperienced with the ship. So
oh, okay. So it'll be easier in the future?
It'll be easier right now.
Woo!
Like it means the difficulty of she needed 20s to succeed in everything going perfectly well. She needed 20s, right? You notice that when she did the crash stop, she did I think she got less than a 15 or something. It won't be that bad. Your target numbers will be much lower now.
Are we putting our people on the boat?
Yeah, you might if you want to drag them on there. I think you guys have control of all those tokens.
Nadal's mentality is like, I'm just gonna stick to the middle of the boat and try not to drown. Because I'm not gonna drown. But...
Well, do you have the cloak of the manta ray, or did Jackie take that?
I do. I've got it.
I like this cloak. Fuck Nadal who can't swim.
Jackie's prepared to hand the cloak off though, whenever.
Because you also
but
have.
I feel like even if I have the cloak, I'm not going in the fucking water. Nadal is like, hell no.
Hey, sailors will spend their entire career not going into the fucking water. So yeah.
But if Jackie could go in the water and be awesome. Is
Well,
the
because
thing.
Jackie also has the mariner's armor, which allows you to swim with a swim speed. So
Yeah, so now she can swim and breathe, and she's awesome. Her and Rose can go on little adventures.
just trying to find the corner of this fucking thing. God, it's hard
Let's
to.
race.
Oh yeah, so Rose is gonna add her to the crew list.
Yeah, we got her.
Oh yeah, that's Rose. That's right. So Rose.
Yeah, so we should bring her out
shit,
to
I just
introduce.
moved the ship out from under you. Sorry.
Oh
I'm
my
gonna make
god,
it
we're all
all
gonna
swimming.
die!
I'm gonna make it part of the. Fuck! I just grabbed the map. No.
Me and Valiana are
You need to
fucking
figure out
dead
how
if
to
this
stick
boat goes
tokens
down.
to ships.
Yeah, it's never gonna happen. So, do you want to have a conversation with Rose? Because you didn't. Because she said I would be happy to serve with you, Captain.
Yeah, I'm
I
gonna.
told her she could stay on trial.
I'll bring her out and say, you know, this whole crew is that we're going for a trial run the hub. You know, you're part of this crew. Impress me.
So Maxim and Shaw kind of like pull. Well, they say, "Could we have a word with you, Captain?" Also, you,
Oh.
Rose, or, well, don't know what to call you.
Yeah, I want Rose to introduce herself to the crew.
Oh, this is gonna be me talking to myself. That's great. I'm Rose Pumana. You know me. Well, you saw me before. I served on the Mariposa. I was the master of sail on the Mariposa, and now I'm here. I pledge my support for this captain, and I'll kill anyone who crosses her.
We're going to Hub. Have we decided who we're going after first? Because we've got a list.
We haven't decided. I think in Hub there's two people. There's the lame one, and there's Cool Green Shell.
Rose,
And then
Rose,
there's
sorry, Matt,
Isla.
sorry,
There's Isla, but she's somewhere else.
Isla
Right.
Frost is in the.
Oh yeah, Lady Frost. She's afterwards because she's somewhere else. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's Cool Green Shell, and then there's the lame one. I feel like the lame one has the fire genasi.
No, there's three. There's Cool Green Shell, Lord Katabatic, who I think is the
lame
one.
one.
Is the lame
And then
one.
there's Counselor Xeldan, also.
Counselor
was-
Zeldan.
Yep.
No matter what,
Another
I kind
turtle.
of feel like I want to free the slaves first.
Because of racism, all the turtles you have met so far are bad people. Oh, no, actually, no, it's not
No.
true. The
That's not true. My
it's
mom.
not true. The lady who sheltered you for a whole month was
Wait.
not evil.
Your mom
I
is
mean,
a turtle?
No, she's not my real mom. She's just the lady that's at that shelter there.
Ah.
One of the ladies from the shelter. Well, you don't know if she's evil, but she's into witchcraft, so
Who's not? Who is it?
kind of evil.
Okay.
Maxim and Rose kind of like look at each other, and Rose says, you know, when she says, "I was master of sail on the Mariposa," she's kind of like hinting that the Mariposa was a much larger ship with a much larger crew, and she's
Nah,
looking
girl.
at Max. Who did I say
Hell
was
no.
master of sail? Maxim. You
Hell
know,
no.
As if hinting she should be the master of sail.
Absolutely not.
And she looks at Maxim, and he kind of like looks at her, and he doesn't back down, and he says, "Well,
Good for him.
I'm master of sail on this boat."
Damn right.
Till Captain
Know your
says
place, girl.
otherwise, and Rose says, "Good enough for me."
Perfect.
So she looks at Jackie and says, "What's Why did I bite off a piece of Toblerone as I was talking? Fuck, I'm stupid."
That's what she says to Jackie? I don't
She
know.
says,
Why
"What's
did
my?"
you?
So she says, "What's my job on this tub, Jackie?"
Who's asking?
Keep-
Sorry. She immediately says, "I'm sorry, Captain Jackie." Captain.
And sorry, this is Rose?
The Toblerone is too good. I couldn't help it. Captain Jackie.
The nougat is so good. Yeah, she says, "So what's my job on this boat, Captain?"
And that's
She
Rose?
seems a little offhand, a little
Sarcastic.
yeah, just a little bit, you know.
Sassy.
She's
A bit like
petty.
fighting
She's
on two
petty. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to
Well,
look at her.
she's pushing back.
I'm going to say, your job is to impress me.
All right.
And anything after that will be determined by me.
So she looks at Maxim and she's like, "Well, find a spot for me, Master of Sail, and I'll do the work." Maxim's like, "Sure thing."
Rose,
He says, "I think we'll have you on the bowsprit, Master Rose."
what are some of your abilities as a water genasi?
Oh. I can. I forget what my abilities are.
I feel like we should know.
Says,
this.
"Well, I can swim. I can breathe underwater."
Uh-huh.
Because you know she's not just well, water genasi are basically half one race. Well, they're a race with a hint of the elemental race, and
No, but she's double.
Yeah, that's right. So she doesn't like being on shore too long because she dries out. Basically, she's like a mermaid or a merman.
You and Brr are gonna have a lot to talk about.
She's like, yeah, no, he looks kind of poisonous. No, I'm just trying to find
So do you,
Rose. Here she is.
Viper?
This one I don't want to show you her character sheet. Death saves.
Uh-huh.
She says so she looks at Aiden, and she says, "I can control air and water."
Air and water.
Yeah, air and water are close in the sea. Sometimes you can't tell the difference. I can make fog, and I can make walls of water. I guess I'm a bit like you, except more water than air.
Interesting.
I can speak to beasts of the sea. Cold doesn't bother me at all.
How do you say good morning in Dolphin?
Bother me anyway.
I'm gonna make a just roll against your charisma. Just click on your charisma.
Come on, Aiden. Come on, Aiden.
+0. Oh, she kind of like frowns and she's like, and she looks at the captain again and she looks at you and she's like, "You being serious right now?"
You don't know how you don't know if I'm gonna need to say hi to a dolphin at some point.
Are you being serious, Mr. Toblerone? It's like
I was genuinely curious.
Maxim says, "You heard the man." And so she kind of like.
Oh
she
my
kinda
God,
turns and she
Maxim!
goes,
Maxim is like a little petty man.
yeah. Well, you realize that on a ship, if there is no order, there can be a ship cannot function if you don't have a really well-defined hierarchy.
Yeah. Maxim's like, I'm gonna put you in your place, girl.
And you don't have to like it, and you don't have to agree with it, but you got to do it. And so she kind of goes, she does this dolphin sound, whatever the dolphin's sound is. She sounds like Danny. What's her name from Critical Role, laughing. And so yeah. So she makes the clicking sounds and everything. She
Nice.
So she does.
I don't think I could replicate that.
It's quite long, and she says, "Yes, it's one of the songs the dolphins sing when they see people like you." And then Burp kind of raises his head and looks over. Yeah, I guess you know that you can't tell. Oh, look at the dog. It's Nico the Pomeranian and Nico's dog. She says, "I haven't been able to teleport ever since the portals failed."
You can usually teleport.
It's a ranger thing, yeah.
Rangers can teleport?
Well, some can. She says, "I have magic just like you, Captain."
While we're on this voyage, I don't know if this is even possible. I would love to be able to examine these two crystals that I have and try and see if I could discern what they're connected to. And if I use them, would I die, first of all? And if you use it, does it come with you, or is it like it's behind you and you can't like go back through, or does it close like it's left behind?
Well, that would be some kind of an Arcana check. I mean, this is pure magic stuff. I'll give you advantage because you can talk to crystals. Jesus Christ!
Wow.
24.
With a nat 20, motherfucker.
That's right.
Yeah, so each one of these is attuned to a different place.
Right.
One of them sounds is almost making no sound at all. It sounds like it's attuned to somewhere close to here. And the other one is making a sound like it's going to a place that is very hot and windy.
Right.
Hot and windy.
And so with this roll, so you can use these to activate a portal. And so you're pretty sure that it won't last very long. Like if
But
you
I
put
need
this
a
in the
portal
portal, you
already.
might.
Okay.
Yeah. And you feel like you might need a wizard or somebody who's good with teleportation magic kind of thing to activate it, and then it would basically last a few seconds, and then it would go dark.
And the stone would be left behind in the place.
I think the stone would be burned out. You can use the other
One-time
stone to get,
use.
and you can use the other stone to get back.
And so, hot and windy, does that sound maybe like something I know about? Perhaps a certain elemental plane?
You know, if you talk about this with Aiden says,
I was gonna say, I'll go
he comes from a
up
hot
to
and windy
Aiden
place.
and I'll listen to Aiden. Does Aiden sound hot and windy?
Well, he's hot and windy.
I can take one of my windy forms, my hot windy form, for you.
Are
Yeah,
these
it resonates
things-
a lot like Aiden does.
Aiden, I think this goes to where you're from.
Kemsen.
Wait, how did we open a portal? I'm really confused. What just happened?
They're little crystals, and if we found a portal, we could plug it in, and it would like open the door to a certain place.
They're like, oh, interesting. That's pretty awesome.
But then the crystal's like dead, so you can only use it one time.
So then we'd be stuck there, is what you're saying.
But I have another one that is attuned to somewhere near where we are right now. So if we went there, we could come back
Whoa,
with the other one, but only one time.
that's very cool.
Unless
Like I said,
I
there
can
are
find a
portals.
way to attune it. Right? Because is it kind of like a tuning fork?
Yes,
Mm.
Ooh.
that's how it works. So whenever you do a gate spell, you have to have a tuning fork that is attuned to the place where you're going.
And DM, tell me, how does tuning forks work? Because I'm full of crystals. So if I can
I was
learn
gonna
how
say-
to tune stuff, I could just like boop boop boop.
It'd be a much higher level thing than what you can do right now. Right now, these are just items
it.
that you can find, video game style that can let you get to the next level. It's like finding keys.
In on my 5th level, my 2 spells that I get, one of them is the tiny hut.
Cool.
What's
So
that?
yeah, so the tuning fork thing, yeah, it's just like in the game, it's just like an expensive item that you have to buy, but I don't think they talk about how you make them. So there'd have to be some way to make them. But there's gates all over the place. Like if you look up into the sky, there's like these big, huge, structures that are floating up there that are dead gates that ships would fly through, and they're just all dead. So far,
And
I've
can
only
I
shown on
hear-
maps like the small ones, and there are a
Can
lot
I
of gates
hear
that exist.
Githrax?
Sorry.
Can I hear Githrax, or are they pretty much still dormant or no change?
You
Oh
can
shit.
hear Githrax.
Do they want to be out now? Aren't they part of me? Aren't they on my head now?
Oh yeah, didn't
Yeah,
you
it's
like,
like one of your ear holes has
socket
Githrax in
him
it now.
into you?
Yeah.
Or wait, no, didn't I? Was he the red? I feel like Jackie socketed
They
something.
were like a big crystal.
A crystal demon.
Is this cannibalism?
Only if you eat them.
I kind of
Githrax
did.
is happy to be where Githrax is happy to be where it is now, but you can talk to Githrax if you want.
Are they with me forever? Like we're two people now?
Well, I mean, Githrax is currently just kind of like it's almost like Githrax is in your pocket.
And if I try and like
You want to try to absorb Githrax?
no, yes, I want to be level 20 right now. If I try and remove it, it's there. It's like not. It's not
Yeah,
like
you can remove it.
Okay.
But you feel like it might be jarring to Githrax if you remove it, because right now it's kind of like comforted by your connection.
Okay, so they would have to kind of go back into their house before I removed it. Okay.
Yeah. But Githrax says we are Githrax.
I know you are Githrax. You are a good person, Githrax. Let's try and race his boat now.
We would like to go back to hell. Where we come
Stop
from.
it! People come from hell.
Yeah, so Maxim has sent Rose to the bowsprit, which is the front of the boat and the most dangerous spot. So, you know.
Well, she's fine. She's a.
Yeah. So she goes to the front, and Shaw says to him, he says, "You flexing pretty hard already there, Maxim." And Maxim says, "Eh." If she goes under, she figures she's the only one of this crew that won't be like instantly killed when the boat hits her. So, because getting keel hauled is a pretty horrible way to go, because the barnacles scrape all your skin off, and then you get caught underneath, and then
What barnacles? We have burp.
It's true. This ship is pretty smooth because when she was entirely out of the water, you could see underneath, and she's plated. Yeah, she's plated in copper down below.
Ooh.
Anyway, yeah. So
go, Jackie, go.
So you give the order. 2 hours. Like we're underway in 2 hours. So crew report. So Maxim's like, all right, crew. I want to see you on the gangplank in 1 hour. And do you give him the money to give to the people? He says, I don't recommend you give them like the full amount right away.
Well, we should
be
have a
foolish.
master
That'd
of
be very
coin.
foolish.
Isn't the whole thing with Zoya?
Didn't
Yeah,
we
first of all,
decide that wasn't Cog going to be our like master of coin or something like that last week?
Cog is like, what? Cog is like,
Or am I
working on
making
something.
that up?
So you could just leave a bunch of money with
Zoya.
with Zoya,
Yeah.
and this is your fund
100
for
each.
yeah.
Yeah, in case they die for their families.
And Maxim says, I would recommend we give the crew some spending coins so they can like top up on whatever they need, and leave some money with their families before they go.
Oh, Cog.
Maybe a week's wages. That would come up to like, I don't know, silver a day per person, 770. That'd be like 10 gold pieces total.
Does that come out of the big chunk that went to Cog, or the boat?
No, this is part of your current operations. The chunk, because you're taking care of the crew now, right? Cog just kind of lives in the basement and collects a share of the treasure.
Okay.
Does that work? So like a 10 gold piece, like 10 gold piece. So the crew are very happy to receive little purses of silver. Hang on.
But there's 11 of them.
Yeah, it'd be 11 gold pieces.
Q.
Yeah, so they all go off, Shaw and Maxim are gone not a long time at all. They leave together and they come back together, and they're both dragging like a couple of sea chests each. And so all of the sailors come back dragging sea chests. The only person who has no belongings is Rose, who's basically wearing a shift because you took her armor.
That's right, we did.
Yeah, so she's kind of like wearing coveralls that somebody gave her, So she's like, I can't go any lower.
Can I get her a leather armor from
You know what? I actually have. I could give her my old armor that I was wearing before I took her armor. I could
Yeah.
She'll be really happy about that.
totally
She's like,
give her
thanks.
my old leather armor if she wants it.
No, she kind of looks at
I
it.
have chainmail. No, I don't. Do I?
You know, you're like a slim young, you know, you look like Aladdin basically. You're like a slim young man, you know. She's like a voluptuous mermaid. She's like, that's not gonna fit. But sure, thanks. She says it sarcastically as she looks at your beautifully fitting, like when she was wearing so who has the mariner's armor? Is it you or is it Jackie?
Jackie.
So the armor that you have was just in. Well, that was hers. The mariner's armor was on the captain. Yes, this was hers. Okay, yeah. So on her, it kind of looked like a really nice leather, you know, leather bustier with push up, and you know, it just fit her beautifully. And when you put it on, it's like, whoop, it looks like a leather vest over a bare chest kind of thing. So that we don't have to change the art too much.
Right.
Anyway, so she sarcastically says, "Yeah, thanks for this." And she starts like strapping on, you know, the arm stuff and, you know, pieces and bits and tries to make it fit.
Can I help her with like mending maybe?
Yeah,
We
sure.
can like cut some
Yeah.
pieces and then.
Yeah, like she's trying to close it over her breasts and it's like nope, you know, and you kind of go mending and bloop. So there you go. So I don't want to get too you know, exploitative. Yeah, so
Great.
she manages to get non-magical armor out of it. She's like, that's great. You know, she grabs like a couple of belaying pins off the railing and just sticks them in her belt. And she goes to her post.
While I'm like mending, can I just tell her like, as we're taking off, I don't know if you can use the water to make the boat stay balanced or to go faster. But that would be a good way to show your skills on the boat.
Impress the captain.
And then
Okay.
I'll walk away. Can I give her my mace? I don't never use it.
It's just a normal mace.
It's just a mace.
She's like, no thanks, it's okay.
Fucking fine, bitch.
No, she's like, she's got the belaying pin. That's the sailor's weapon. She's like,
Kill.
I appreciate what you're trying to do. It's okay. I'm just, you know,
Bad person. It's all good.
I'm just not very friendly.
Let's go.
All right. Yeah. So you kind of shove off from the dock. Oh, cog. Like when people start trooping on the ship and heading down below with their lockers, they show up like one at a time with their lockers. I'm just going to roll a d20 on each one of them. Shelby. Okay, hang on. All right, Shelby's good. Shelby shows up dragging like just has a duffel bag. Now Rakti, that's good. And Olivier, I'm going to give him advantage on his roll because he's with Rakti. Okay, good.
Wow.
So yeah, they show up first, and they're dragging like a couple of trunks, and they're together. The Rakti and Olivier come back together.
So we already have supplies for food
Anagar.
and water and stuff, do we?
Yeah, you're not supplied for like a month voyage, but you got enough
Okay.
supplies to go to do the half-day trip for sure.
Can I go buy something that would be like a tasty treat, something that they could eat or drink, or just like a little welcome thing?
You're gonna put like a little spread, you know, some
Charcuterie.
you're gonna put on a
just
little board,
Something that would be nice.
some crab.
Never.
Sure, yeah, you want to? Yeah, how much do you want to spend?
I have so much money. It doesn't matter.
Like if you spend like 10 gold pieces, you can buy like a whole bunch of like, you know, fresh
Sure.
fruit, fresh fish and some, you know.
Done.
I mean, this island produces fish and citrus and olives.
Done. I'm not a cook, but yep. Cool.
So I think the cook, Dee Dee, would be she's the middle-aged woman who's also good with people. She's also a fair cook.
Dee Dee's everybody's mom.
She's the ship mom. That's right. Yeah, that's her job. So Thanagar, the orc, is the first one back. Like very, very quickly comes back with, very meager possessions.
I'm also anxious on being on time, Thanagar. Good for you.
They have very little stuff. Dee Dee.
Oh right, they give all their money to share to poor people.
Yeah, so Dee Dee comes back, and yeah, Dee Dee has a really big sailor's trunk. She says, "This looks like a bachelor's boat. Bet you there's not going to be much on here for cooking." In fact, there's a full there's a full pot-bellied stove and all kinds of stuff in Cog's workshop. So she's going to have to negotiate for access to that if she wants to meals. Valiana, yep, Valiana is very on time, and Burp also on time. Did I get everyone? Yeah, like I said, Maxim and Shaw came back very fast.
What about Ilana? She's good. I like her. She's fucking creepy.
I think I did Ilana, but I'll. Yep. Yeah, she comes back.
Sorry, I just. Had
so as she walks up the gangplank, Olivier's like, "Hey, Ilana, did you murder anyone while you were on shore?" And Ilana says, "Maybe I did. Maybe I didn't." And Olivier's like, "Whoa."
Nadal doesn't know how to feel.
You're not sure if that's banter or if it's Olivier trying to. Because you're noticing. Well, as human beings, you're probably noticing that there seem to be there's a lot of diversity in this crew, and that's because this is a diverse world. So.
Hub, yeah.
Yeah. So. Well, also when we set up the game, remember all those months ago, we decided that it wasn't going to be. Your typical medieval world where women are the servants of men and it's all humans and stuff. So that's why so much of the crew is non-human as well. All right, so so the ship kind of moves away from the dock just a little bit, and do we have Rose's? Oh
boy.
I don't have Rose's token here.
Where does the captain have the wheel? Oh, it's in the back.
The wheel's in the back.
This is crazy. We've got an army now, people.
So just so you know, in the Age of Sail, your British, the smallest ship of the line that the British had, which was a brigantine. The brigantine had 14 7-pounder guns, very small guns, and only 7 on each side. The ship was 100 and some feet long and had a crew of over 100. The British, all of the navies had hundreds of people up, and every spar had 3 guys on it. They carried musketeers. There were 3 people on each gun, even the 7-pound guns, stuff like that. So, this much crew here is not a ton. But because this is D&D, I don't want to have 200-foot-long ships of the line that have 3 decks of guns and all that stuff. It's just too much. Yeah, I don't have Rose's figurine here, so hang on. Here she is.
We're sacrificing our attack power for
Rose,
a lot of speed.
Crush all of you. Yeah, she just gets right up onto the front of the bowsprit. And so she has a conversation with Maxim before she goes out there. So everyone comes back. Everyone's talking. They're doing their It's you're gonna go this, you're gonna do that. Different crew going different places.
Ooh,
Burp is probably on the outside, because this is not a wide. This ship doesn't have wide sails. The kind that are square. It has lateen sails, and so Burp is probably gonna go also in the front. On these sails that are out over the water. And so Rose has a talk with Maxim. You're not sure what they say, but so he nods, and she heads out to the front, and Maxim comes back and he says, when we're in hub, I think we should get more sail for this thing, and also we should get a carpenter so we can add more spar. Well, I agree with her. We mentioned that also before Rose joined the crew, but this ship can take on a lot more sail. And she can have her masts can be half again as tall. I think she can handle it without
Cool.
tipping over, as long as she's well crewed. So I think we can. I think we can put on a lot more. We can really muscle this ship up. I don't know how much. I don't know how much sail fighting you've done, Captain, but we
Sail
we can't
fighting?
get caught by a ship that can destroy us, because we can't take a broadside in this ship. It's too small. We have to be able to control everything, and we need to be able to, race before the wind. Anyway, more sail. Definitely more sail.
Okay.
We just need a carpenter to do that. So to work on the. You're pretty sure Cog can do carpentry work,
Alright. Cog's gonna be one busy little guy.
because he's an artificer. Yeah.
Dog is a Tuski.
Tout ce qu'il y a dans le frigo. Okay, so so the ship. So flashback to the ship is moving away from the dock, and you notice the front of the ship is moving out on its own. Jackie, you can use your water cantrip to push the ship out.
Yep.
But you're kind of like standing, because it's hard to see out the front. And so what you do is you stand, you stand on the wheel,
Like
on
captain
top
pose.
of the wheel, and you're holding onto the rigging, and you're looking forward, and you just have your foot on the wheel, and you push it one way or the other, and then a crew member will like spin it to really get it going.
Oh my god,
But right now you
absolutely, Jackie!
But right now you just have it in neutral, and you're looking forward, and you see Rose, and Rose is looking back at you, and she's like, she kind of goes, yeah, and she kind of like, she does this motion, as if, well, make an insight check.
Guidance. Always guidance, always.
Yeah, at this time, I think it's just, I don't think, well, okay, sure.
So yeah, okay. Guide. 12.
So that's a 12. You think she's telling you to push the boat out using water magic.
Yeah. Well, I'm just gonna presume Jackie's always kind of keeping that in the back of her mind, just to help guide things along. So
Yeah, so
she casts.
so the front end of the boat starts to move away from the dock on its own, like clearly Rose is doing it, and so Jackie, you want to push the back end out,
Yeah.
and so the ship sort of like just kind of moves away from the dock on its own, and the crew are kind of like, yeah, they look at each other, they're like thumbs up, yeah, that's pretty cool, and then it just starts motoring out of the harbor on its own power, at like 2 or 3 miles per hour, right? This ship has oars that are stowed, and the crew were kind of like reaching for the oars, and Maxim is like, as you were, get ready to hoist the sails. And I'm just going to make a general reaction roll for the crew. High is good.
Oh boy.
Yeah, so right away Rakti is like, what about the oars? We will crash into this other ship that is coming in. And so Maxim he looks at Shaw. And Shaw kind of like calls over and says, Rakti, mind your place. Rakti's like, aye, aye, master. And so nobody pulls out oars. The ship keeps moving out into the harbor, and seemingly, there's other ships moving around the harbor. And the post, and you're going out on the tide as well. And so the much larger, much
Leviathan.
comically larger Leviathan pulls away from the dock, and it's being pushed by a couple of tenders that have like 20 people on each tender madly rowing, and the tenders are like, with rope pulling the ship away from the dock and kind of towing it out
And we're like, la la
to the
la
middle.
la.
Yeah, so, and you guys are just kind of like motoring, almost like, Willie's Tugboat, Disney style, as you go. And so out you go. Into the harbor. So do you want to make like a captaining check, Jackie? You get it with advantage.
Damn
You
straight.
can have inspiration. This is not a hard check, just to see how you handle the boat and how you shout out your orders and so on. Because typically you would shout out an order and you would say, up the sails, and then Maxim would relay that to the crew. They would listen. They
thank
would wait for
God.
Maxim to repeat it.
23.
Nice.
So you guide the ship out into the harbor, and so you're like, up the sails, and the ship takes it well, and the sails go up, and she just kind of like, as bathtub-like as she is, she sails out of the harbor safely. Do you want to put on? You notice that the Leviathan sails are going up too, so she has like 4 masts with a whole bunch of lateen sails and hundreds of crew, and
Yeah,
the
I
sails are
wanna
like
race.
slowly going up. Yes.
The Leviathan gets from Port Donover to Hub or the other way around in one day. It takes like 24 hours or like
Yeah, it's
12
like 12
hours.
Yeah, it takes 12
And
hours.
on our boat, full speed ahead the whole time, we would get there in how long?
If you could match the speed you had the time before, you could get there in like 4 hours.
Holy shit.
And so you're discussing this, and you're not. Yeah. Anyway, like Maxim and Shaw both said, we don't know if the ship can maintain that can maintain that pace for that many hours.
Okay.
That's where the carpenter might come in. Because if we bust a spar, or if a sail gets carried away, if somebody goes overboard, that could lose us a few hours right there if we don't capsize. And so Cog will be on the deck, and he'll be like, "Capsize, yes, she's capsized before. Mark my words, she'll capsize again." And Shaw looks at him and says, and Shaw looks at him and says, and looks at the captain, and he's like, I'm pretty sure you don't need any naysayers on the ship, but there you go. I'm just gonna
It's
grab
fine.
Cog.
I like Cog.
Oh, that's not him.
What the fuck is that? Okay.
It's the Kobold Alchemist, but it's the wrong token.
You put him in the corner over there. Bottom left. He's floating by himself. All alone. He's right there.
There he is.
All alone. In the water.
Yeah. Shaw says, so Cog comes out and says, "She'll capsize again, mark my word." And Shaw says, "Master Cog, it's probably a lot safer for you if you go below decks now." And Cog looks at him. So Shaw is he's like a 6'6" half orc. He's big. Yeah, he's really giving off Tusk Love vibes. He's like this manly male, piratey looking half orc guy. And so he's like, "Maybe you should get back down below decks, Master Cog. Safer there." And Cog's like, "I think so." So he'll go back. He'll go below decks.
Bye, Cog.
Yeah. So you're out in the harbor. The Leviathan is catching up fast because she's putting up her sail and she's just moving. And the crew are all like catcalling, and they're like, "Hey, look at that! Hey, bathtub, get out of the way!" And she's coming in your direction.
I think I kind of want to race her.
So you don't want to race her?
Kind of want to race her.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, Shaw says we don't want to get swamped by her wake. We do not want to get hit by her wake. That'll tip us for sure.
Well, that's...
And he points across and he says, "See that bow? She has a huge bow wave." Knowing the captain, actually, yeah. So he'll call over one of the French guys, and he'll say, "Who's the captain of that ship? Who's captaining her today?" And they'll say who it is. I don't know. Hang on. It's Captain Perry.
Another Perry?
Good. He's a bit of a dick, but he probably
Perry
won't try
the
to sing us unless we really get in his way.
Well, what do you think we should do, seeing as you're the one experienced on those boats?
I say we just stay away from him. Give him some confidence. I don't want to start skating until we're out of this harbor. I'm afraid if the ship cuts in front of us, we're not going to be able to maneuver. So we've got to get out into the open.
But then we can catch up and overtake.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, let's do that.
Let's
All right,
let them underestimate us.
Yeah, so Shaw kind of like hops up onto this spar here, and the sail is like kind of like next to him, and he's kind of like, "All right, listen up. We're gonna lay low. We're gonna lay low till we're out of the harbor. We don't want to spring our surprise until after we're out, until after we're in the open water. When she's under full sail, she's hard to turn. We don't want to run into anybody in the harbor. Until then, we're gonna have to dodge this big boat. So let's do it. Let's asses and elbows." And so everyone yells "aye aye," and so make a captaining check, Jackie, with advantage, with your plus D4, and it's a higher skill check now than it was before.
Oh, good.
In order to avoid getting run over by the
Certain doom.
Leviathan. Here we go.
21.
21. All right. So sure enough, the Leviathan just like she swings wide to make the turn around the point, and you're pretty sure that she didn't need to turn that wide. And so a lot of the crew are up in the sails, looking down on you from like 50 feet up in the air, and they're all kind of like jeering at this small boat. And
I cannot wait to take over this boat.
You know, and Maxim says, we can jeer back if you like, Captain.
Just wait till we pass them.
The crew are just waiting for your order. They don't want to speak out of turn.
Well, we're getting to know all you guys. Just speak. Tell me what you think we should do.
He says, I think we should blow
your
the
turn.
raspberry, sir.
I would wait till we catch up and then pass them.
Aye, aye. So he turns to the crew and he says, keep quiet for now. We're laying low. The crew get back to their jobs. I'm going to roll.
Because honestly, if you ask me, that's hilarious. It's like, oh, you think you won? Psych.
You think you have won? Who is the last crew that you interviewed? Just a sec.
It was Valiana. The hobgoblin.
So so Shaw and Maxim are kind of like, you know, watching the crew do their thing, and they're talking to each other, and Maxim's like, Valiana's not, I don't know. I think Valiana could be working a little harder.
Well, she's a fighter, right? Not a sailor.
So Maxim's like, well, she's one of yours. Why don't you go check her out? Shaw's like, she's a hobgoblin, you knob.
Hobgoblin.
They're my people's mortal enemies. But I'll go over there. You know, so he kind of like sticks back his hair and he goes over to Valiana. You know, and she kind of like sourly turns. She's working on, you know, she's tying a knot or something, and so they have words. Anyway, so you manage to avoid the ship. You get out into the open, and the Leviathan just puts on like 10 square miles of sail, and she's gone. She just takes off, maneuvers tightly around the bend. It seems that their pilot knows exactly where the shallows are. Ironically, your ship is no more able to go into shallow water than the Leviathan because of the deep, you know, the fins that are underneath there. You don't. If you hit anything, those will be ruined for sure. And Cog is like, "Don't hit any rocks." And so, so she pulls. It's like under normal sail, your ship cannot keep up with the Leviathan. So the Leviathan just starts to pull away. And so people are like throwing stuff in your direction, and they're jeering, and you see like crew in the up showing you their asses. Like you see a bright green, like you use your spyglass, you see like some bright green ass up in the sails. Oh, hobgoblin. You know, it's yeah. Maxim says, "Well, we got a breeze. Sun's shining. Hot day. What do you say, Captain?
Let's just go.
You want to do it? All right." So Maxim and Shaw. So Maxim gives the word to the. He says, "All right, folks, let's put on all the sail we got. Let's get it up. Let's do it." And he says,
since Nadal has been here, Nadal understands. You know, the people need to eat food regularly. It's a thing that's that weird thing that people do. So yeah, so Nadal keeps trying to like bring food to people. It's like
yeah, so people are like working, they're working and they're feverishly putting up sails and stuff, and at one point you try to talk to Valiana and she kind of looks at you, you know, and then she looks at Shaw, who's coming in behind you, and Shaw says, Master Nadal,
Hello,
remember
Shaw.
what happened last time we went at full speed? I think you should probably tie yourself off to the mast. I'm just thinking about your safety.
Yep.
And are those olives you have there, Master Nadal?
Sure.
I'd like it too.
Here.
So he like grabs a few olives and eats them. He's like, thanks. All right, so it's going to be sailing time. So your difficulty number, instead of a 20, is now just a 15 because you have all the crew. They are still not experienced in running a hydrofoil ship, and so eventually you'll get it down to a 10, but it's a 15 now. You can make your roll with advantage with an extra d4.
Yeah, tie myself somewhere near touching range of the Capitan.
Yeah, so if you get a 10, you won't get up to hydrofoil speed, but you won't crash. If you get less than 5, that's when you have a disaster. So don't worry. And I feel like you weren't adding your dex bonus to your ship roll. Were you? Oh yeah, you were. Never mind.
Yeah, it's all built in. I think it's.
Oh, and you can add an extra +1 if you use your belaying pin.
Ooh. Sweet.
Heck yeah. Anything.
How do I add that?
Remember the last time you used your belaying pin to get that extra +1? Because it's a +1 belaying pin.
Okay. So do you want me to roll now?
This
Is that
one.
what you're saying?
This one.
Yeah, roll. You just add one. We'll just add 1 to the total if it matters. I'm saying that only.
28 then with the +1.
Absolutely. Jackie's like,
Wow.
Let's fly.
watch me, crew, watch me.
Aiden, where are you during all of this? Like, you really want to be up in the sails where the wind is blowing, but.
Do I?
Well, you don't have. No, I mean, you don't have to. You remember
Aiden's
last
like-
time you were up there when
Aiden's just, like,
the wood
sleeping
crash stopped and you
below
fell and
deck.
smashed your face on.
Wait, what is happening?
What is happening to what?
What is happening in general?
What is life?
Are you okay? Have you been like just swimming in the notification that you were nominated for the?
I've been terribly distracted.
It's okay.
Are we
the wind is
having
blowing.
combat? What is happening?
No,
I know
no.
we just sailed out. We just took off. We're sailing. That's all I know.
Yeah, you're sailing. So, so Jackie, you got a natural 20. So, so the word is given. The sails go up. In fact, Shaw says the breeze is low enough, Captain, that I think we should put out the spinnaker, which is like a big parachute that's in the front that you can put on for it's the most sail this ship can have. He says, I think she can hold it.
Let's do
And
the
so
spinnaker.
You give the word,
Word.
and the sails go up, and the ship just launches itself out, almost like if you've ever seen parasailers, these guys and women that are at the beach that they're on like a little surfboard and they're on parasailing, and sometimes the wind just lifts them all completely out of the water. You feel like the boat just leapt out of the water, flying like a flying fish. And so and you were kind of like getting ready, making sure everything was okay, tying off all the ropes and stuff. And the Leviathan was just like pulling ahead. It was like 100 meters, 200 meters ahead of you.
Yeah, I'm literally a fucking rock, so I'm flying, but also in the ocean. This is not.
And so the ship just launches itself and just skims over the waves. You're getting out into the deep ocean where the waves are long, and you fly past the Leviathan. How close do you want to get to the Leviathan?
Not too close. I want to keep a fair distance.
Yeah, Shaw says, "Watch out for that wake! Watch out for that wake!"
Yeah.
Well, with your nat 25, you see the wake and you see an opportunity, and so you kind of cut behind the Leviathan, and then with a sharp angle, you steal the Leviathan's wind,
Yes! Close enough that they can see us.
such as you could. You can't steal the Leviathan's wind because you just don't have enough sail, but you still steal some of her wind, and cut right and jump over her wake, like water ski style, and so basically. All you see is all the crew on the Leviathan looking at you shocked, and the passengers they're all lined up on the railing looking, and your ship just kind of whoosh, launches itself into the air, fully out of the water, and your crew are all just looking at the Leviathan, not saying anything, and then back in the water, and then you've passed the Leviathan, you've tripled her speed, and you're moving towards hub. Now
we jeer.
The boat is singing. There's a vibration in the ropes of this boat, and it's the song. It's a song of wood and copper and rope, and so you hear cheers coming from the Leviathan's passengers, and then
Yeah.
and then your crew as well spontaneously erupts in a cheer. Yeah, and
Mark Russell style.
yeah, you're off towards hub. So just make one more sailing check to see if the ship can withstand. And once you've left the Leviathan behind, Max, Shaw and Maxim come to you and say, "All right, that was good. Let's take down the spinnaker. I feel like we don't want to push our luck."
Sure.
There's no way she's going to catch up to us anyway. I think we should just have a bit less sail. Try to figure out what the cruising speed is best for this thing, and see how things are going. We can bring Pond up.
I figured out why Jackie always rolls bad. It's because she's keeping all her good rolls for the ship.
That's right. 'Cause that's a 19. That's a pair of 19s? 1d20. Yeah.
Holy shit.
Oh yeah. So you kind of lean back. You just stay standing on top of the wheel, and you just kind of, when she's up on her wings, you barely need to touch the wheel at all to trim the direction. Yeah. And so in like 4.5 hours, you get to Hub.
Yeah.
A record-breaking trip in a non-magical boat. And you just streak out towards Hub, and you arrive in Hub like before lunch. And so some of your crew they're just like, at first they're incredulous. They just can't understand what's going on. And then but they're doing their jobs. They're all so you feel like the weakest link was Valiana. She did say she was a better fighter than a sailor.
Yeah. We want some fighters.
The strongest sailor is the second one that you interviewed. Who's that?
Dee Dee.
Is it Dee Dee?
Yeah, that's Dee Dee.
Yeah, so Dee Dee is she's on the deck. She's not much of a climber, but there were untidy piles of rope before, and detritus and unnecessary knots and stuff. It's all cleaned up.
Mom, Rose keeps hitting me.
Yeah. So the deck is spotless, and that's it. And you guys get to Hub in hardly no time at all.
That was fast. Hub.
Where do you go in Hub? Do you go back to the place where your houseboat was?
Oh yeah, we should.
We own a houseboat.
Yeah, we should go back to our barge. That could be like home base for the crew while we're in Hub.
All right.
Right?
You are here at the Nautilus.
Could we get them to start clearing out the coal so that it's like more living quarters in there?
I also think we should
see
if we can have people actively working on like reinforcing this boat for fighting. So if we do have fighting on it, we have enough tools and stuff to save the boat, to plug holes, to that kind of stuff.
Well, how much does Shaw and Maxim, how much does Maxim and Rose, I guess, need for their plan for the sales and whatever? Because we can give them however much money that they need, and they can start working on it with Cog while we go do our murdering. Does Alana want to come? No, she's fine. Come help us kill people, Alana.
All right, so you pull up over here. Your little half-orc friend is still guarding on top of the boat. You've been gone for a few days. He seems very happy to see you.
Hey, buddy.
Was he there the whole time?
Garmouche.
Please.
Well, that's his job, is to guard your boat, so he's up there guarding.
Garmouche.
Why can't he at least
You're going to owe him some wages.
Why can't he at least live in the boat?
He's our guard.
Can't guard from
like a
inside
guard
the boat.
dog outside of
Yeah,
his
he
little
can.
house.
He's a guard dog. He's a child guard dog. Yeah.
How much do we owe him?
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I forget. It's like you have to talk to. Also, Garmouche sees you guys arrive in your boat.
What about 10 gold for Garmouche?
Holy
Here you
crap.
go.
Garmouche has never seen this much money in his life.
I know.
He's kind of like, do you want me to do something with this money? What am I doing? Am I going to buy something for you? Do I have to go?
Nadal is like kind of scared because Nadal has no understanding of money. He's like, no, that's just.
Clearly
So
Nadal has no understanding
just-
of money.
He leaves. And he
You've
comes
been
back
here.
like-
You've been here a long time, right? It was hard, right?
Whose idea
should
was
take
it to
this,
put
right?
Nadal in charge of the money?
No, that's my own money.
Oh, it's your own
Nadal
money.
is dancing
Okay.
down the street saying, "Prince Ali, mighty is he." Blah, 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 blah. Yeah.
Right.
So he takes the money and he says, "I will be back soon." and he leaves.
We will never see him again.
He comes back 15 minutes later with Aster and a few other kids, and Aster's like, "You're back. How did things go?"
We have a boat.
Yes. Are you? Does this mean you will no longer be renting your spaces on the Nautilus?
We'll probably keep it, right?
Because you paid up front for a little while, but you're probably going to owe us soon for.
Do we
more.
do we need it? Don't we now have quarters on the cog or whatever it's called?
The surprise.
It's the surprise.
The
I
surprise.
don't mind having both.
What's up?
Bye.
I forget how much you were paying for this place. You were not paying much. You were paying silvers, I think.
We were not paying much. It's true.
You know, Cog is like, well, if this ship ever capsizes, you need a place to live.
Oh my god.
Okay, Cog.
You could go over at any moment.
Oh, Cog.
Maxim's like, we're gonna have to have a talk with Cog not to say stuff like that while we're underway. Crew are pretty superstitious. So Maxim and Shaw are both, we feel that all of the crew performed well. Possibly Alana, who had the...
Valiana.
Valiana dropped the ball a few times on some key moments, but we did know that she's, we can't all be the strongest sailors. We definitely think that Dee Dee should be the deck mother or whatever we call Whoops. Hang on. Oh, this is the inside the boat. Oh, that's why I didn't want to. Okay, hang on. All right, so you are now here. What would you like to do?
Sweet.
Aster, where do you live? Where do all these little kids live?
God damn it! Hang on. Where do they live? Well, they live not here, but somewhere else.
Not the question I was expecting us to ask.
Well, why do you want to know where the kids live?
Like, wouldn't it not be great to just have them live in the boat, live in the Nautilus? That's their house. They can keep it clean, and we have a little army of informants and messengers.
No, they have a place to live. They're
Okay.
good. They're good. They don't need to. They don't. Sorry, I'm trying to fix. Anyway, I'm screwing up my own maps here. Yeah, she's like, yeah, I would thank you to not, try to find places for my employees to live, as it were, or for my friends to live. Yes. So, what do you want to do? Aster will say that a really large half-orc lady has come by every day close to dusk, seeing if you had returned. She said that she would be back at dusk today, as she has every day, just looking for news of you. Big half-orc, lots of armor. Said her name was Salome.
Salome. Scaramouche.
Sexy Salome.
Other than that, what you folks want to do?
Waffle. Hey, kid. How much do you know about the lame one?
They all turn around. What? Which kid?
I'm gonna ask you about 3 different people, okay? Cool Greenshell, Lord Catabatic, the lame one, and Counselor And if you have any information, please step onto the boat so we may discuss this.
She kind of like crosses her arms and like she's crossing her arms. So this is Aster, but she's one of her hands is out as if she wants you to put something into her hand. She says, I know a lot about two of those three people.
Listen, I just gave him 10 gold because I have no concept.
Well, she says,
How much do you want? I'm so easy to trick. It's insane.
Well, how much you gave to him?
I gave him 10 gold.
Yes, give me 10 gold.
Okay.
Like all the other kids, like you're behind her, they're all kind of like, and she keeps a straight face. She's like, thank you, pockets it. Cool Green Shell is a rich merchant who lives up on the hill. He's a turtle. I think it's bad news. I don't think Cool Green Shell's not a counselor, right? But Zeldan is. So Cool Green Shell and Zeldan are partners together, and Zeldan is the counselor.
Okay.
I know where he lives.
Could you draw a map of the place?
Oh yeah. For 10 gold pieces, I could bring you there.
Okay. And the lame one, he has a
Catabatic,
cane.
the lame one, he's like the boogeyman. I don't know who he is. People say, ooh, eat your beans. Catabatic's gonna get you.
That's not appropriate for a lady.
Is she licking her non-sexual organs?
Perhaps.
Yeah, so Catabatic, people whisper his name like he's the boogeyman. I don't know much about him. I think he lives higher up in the estates where the super rich live. I can't take you to that one.
Guys, you know who might know more about these people is the counselor. Maybe we just wait around for Salome. Go buy the stuff that we need for the sales and...
Yeah.
So you want to do sales stuff? Let me just look at. So Maxim and Shaw are kind of surprised that you want to move this quickly on his recommendation. Usually, like owners of ships will be like, yes, next budget. We don't have any money right now. Blah blah blah. You know, I keep forgetting that you guys are adventurers and you just have money. No, adventurers always have money now. Later on, they might not have money, but now they got money. And so he's like, "Oh, okay? You sure? How much? Just a second."
Also, how long would it take to get it done? And can it sail while it's being worked on?
He says, "Well, we can just buy fabric. Not a lot of room on a ship to make to craft things, but I noticed there seems to be a workshop on that ship."
Yeah.
And Cog is like, "Yes, I have a sewing machine."
While you're here, you have this this barge is ours. Feel free to use it.
Dee Dee says, "What is a sewing machine?" She's suddenly Dee Dee is standing next to you. She's like, "What is a sewing machine?" And Cog says, "It's a machine. It's a machine that sews. It sews. It's a sewing machine, you know." And Dee Dee says, "Can you show me your sewing machine?" And he says, "Oh yes, I will show you my sewing machine." And so Dee Dee goes down with Cog. She comes back 10 minutes later and she's like crying. She says he has a machine that just sews. It can sew through leather. It's unbelievable. He has a steampunk sewing machine.
Cool.
It broke twice while he was using it, but he fixed it. I couldn't believe it. Anyway, I think we can probably make sales on this boat. He also has a chainsaw, he called it. Which is a thing with a chain, goes around and it cuts wood. So yes, we can absolutely do this.
Great.
So Maxim's like 200 gold pieces for the sails,
Okay.
and another. Well, we can buy lumber, or we can find an island with trees and cut lumber. That's normally what a ship's carpenter does. Is just makes parts out of wood, but
But if we want it
a lot easier if
up
you
and
just buy
running
the lumber.
now, yeah. So what? 300 all in all.
Another 200.
So 400 all in all. If
Yeah.
we're all pitching in, it's 134 for 2 people. I can put in 134.
Okay. Are you guys okay with that?
Mm-hmm.
I suspect that Aiden hasn't paid attention to anything that you've said about spending money. So Aiden's like, I have this much money.
As long as Nadal's spending her own money, I don't care.
Yeah.
But there's
Well,
money.
It's all
Yeah.
split in 3.
Yeah. So if you guys like, you guys can go have an encounter with the counselor, and then we can call it a night, because that'll be
Yes.
like we're getting towards 3 hours, and I think
Yes.
James is anxious to
Celebrate party.
go party naked. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's as good as one. It's okay. No, it's
Into
pretty
the
great.
counselor we go.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, JS, have you been watching WandaVision? Remember, I said you should watch more WandaVision. It's so great.
I gave up on it. I couldn't. I've made it through like 3 or 4 episodes, and I was like, I can't take this anymore. It's just terrible.
It overall it was good, but it just ended like the final episode just ended in a Marvel 2 CG characters blowing each other, shooting at each other with energy beams until one of them gave up, and it's like couldn't 2 women just get along in a fictional universe and just not always automatically fight? Like I don't understand. Anyway, it doesn't make any sense to me, but whatever. Yeah. So so Maxim and Shaw are like, all right. So they take a few crew. They're like, so they say to so they ask you, how long are we staying in town? We need to tell the crew how long. We can't just keep them on the boat in the dock. They're gonna go crazy. They're gonna like. Valiana's gonna murder someone for sure. No, wait, no.
No,
which
Ilana.
is Alana's like holding onto her. Alana, like I have her depicted carrying a boarding pike, which is kind of like a stick with a gaffing hook at the end for hooking fish, also for stabbing pirates. So yeah.
Well, we have to take care of those 3 and then get the fuck out to the Titan's Teeth. It depends on how long we think it'll take.
Okay, so in that case, Shaw and Maxim say, we recommend we keep all of these people. Do you agree?
Yeah.
I think they
Make it
like
run.
this ship, and I think they will serve. So I think we just start off their work with some shore duty, with some shore leave, because it's going to take a few days to victual this ship to fill her up. We're heading to the Titan's Teeth.
Yep.
So Jackie, you're going to need charts to get there.
Okay.
Maps and charts and stuff. Cog's got some stuff, but you're going to have to.
And we have Dee Dee.
Well, Dee Dee's going to make sure this ship is clean.
No, she's
Sean
from the
Maxim.
Titan's Teeth.
Yes. Once you're there, yeah. Well, she was a landlubber at the Titan's Teeth, sure. But you're going to need charts and stuff to get there, and so Maxim and Shaw are like, we can get on that. This money that you gave us for the sales and stuff, we'll try to stretch that.
What about supplies?
So can we say? Yeah, that's right. We got a victual. Yeah. No, you're right. Richard, the GM, is forgetting. I'd say 200 gold pieces to stock up the ship full of fresh water, food.
Another 200?
Yeah.
Expensive. Okay, so if we're splitting that 3-way again, 2 people is 67. I can put in 67.
Okay. So they're just going to go off, and they're like, all right. And so they're going to pull Dee Dee. Rose says. So Rose kind of like hanging around, waiting for Jackie to say something to her. Rose did her job very well. I can make just kind of a.
Does it seem like Rose would want to be part of this team in which we go into?
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Or she's just boat people, or she more like with us.
Is she boat people?
I'll tell her
More with us
ask
to
her
go
to
against the
respect
people.
what she wants her role to be on here. I'll say, you know, you did a good job. What are you looking to get out of this?
She rolled an 18 on her skill check so I mean, well above the minimum anyway. You know, she has advantage because she's a ranger.
It ain't no 25 though.
No, it ain't no above 20 4 times in a row, no. So yeah, you're right. No, she was very adept. She wasn't afraid. She was skilled. She communicated well with the other crew.
Yeah, well, I want to ask her what does she want her role to be? Like what are you after?
Well, honestly, I can just hang out with you guys in the back, but that's not much of a job on a boat.
No,
I'm
we're
happy
not
to be.
staying
I'm
on
happy
the
to
boat.
be. I'm happy to be your master of sword.
We have to get off the boat and go kill people, but it depends on what you want.
Master of sword. Okay, so what does that mean?
Well, when there's a fight, I take command of the crew that aren't in the rigging, and they fight under my command.
Isn't that what Shaw is though?
Yeah, I guess that's She says, but Shaw's got that job, and you know what? I'm happy to just be. I'm happy to be a deck. I'm happy to do this job. That's fine.
Okay.
Like you're not sure. Yeah, she seems a little flippant again. She's like, I'm happy to do this job. It's,
No, like
know,
I'm not.
You know what?
I don't. She seems like the kind of person that if she feels disrespected, she'll eventually do something to screw us over. So I want to like make it known that it's appreciated, and.
She's like, honestly, on a ship this small, there's not a lot of room for advancement. But I mean, no, I mean, I can't. I'm not going to lie to you. I mean, you're the captain. I'm working for you, Captain Jackie. But
Listen.
so I'm happy. I'm just happy to do that. I mean, this is the closest that I've ever come to, just pure sailing, which is really nice.
Well, we're not always going to be on the boat. We have to go off the boat and go stalk some people and then kill them.
Sure.
So.
Do you want me to come with you for that? I don't like leaving the water personally, but.
Okay, well there's our answer. You're a boat person. You're an NPC, Rose.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Like I said, I gave my word. I'm serving the cap.
Cool. Well.
All right, you stay and do your thing then.
So you can just put me on the payroll, and we can go from there.
Yep.
Okay. Cool.
All right. So Shaw kind of like sends the people back, sends most of the crew off on shore leave. Says come back in 4 days. It's gonna take 4 days to get this ship ready to go.
And then we can reassess.
Well, we can leave in 4 days. Shaw says. He says, I figure that's about how long it's going to take to provision the ship, bring the lumber on board and the material for the sails, and during our cruise we can do the work.
Yeah, in 4 days we'll reassess to see if we've completed what we need to complete here.
We're going to give the crew their enough pay for 4 days of shore leave. Is it okay if they stay on the boat if they don't have any money? Like,
we have the barge right here, the Nautilus, and then yes, there's also this boat. Feel free.
We can go on the Nautilus.
Yeah, it's ours. You feel free to clear out the coal and make yourselves at home. Use the kitchen, whatever you want. The gallows, whatever.
Thanagar, like as he walks off the gangplank, he says, like he looks at the Captain Jackie. Do you know of any places where I could do volunteer work in this city?
Oh my God.
Don't ask me. Volunteer with us. Come help us.
Nadal,
Garmouche.
Yeah, Nadal, you know.
Oh
where
yeah, I'll give them the name. Wait, what the fuck is it called? I have it. At the Lady Vesta Soup Kitchen up on the mountain slopes in the west, I think.
Oh yes, yes, I know it well. Yes, excellent place.
You could tell them that I'll send you, maybe, if you
Oh,
want.
very, very well.
Tell
Thank
them
you,
I'm not
Master
dead.
Nadal.
Yep.
Okay, so you're all squared away. You can spend a few hours waiting for. Excuse me. Oh, I'm just burping. Ugh, Salome to show up, or you can go to try to find Klaus Wilhelm in his quarters or at his office. What would you like to do?
I guess we can wait for her.
Yeah.
Okay. At about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, Salome shows up.
All right.
She says,
Salome.
I heard a crazy boat came into the harbor today. This must be it."
Here's the surprise.
Surprise.
Yeah.
Just trying to find Salome. It doesn't sort them alphabetically. Like, fuck, this is just garbage. Anyway, yeah, so Salome says, how did it go? Was your mission successful? We haven't heard. Well, I mean, you guys came back so fast, so much faster than the packet ship, which is still not back. So there's not like a lot of land news. My master tells me that something has happened at Port Denver. Something about an
Could call
uprising.
it an uprising, yeah.
What did you get to while you were over there?
Should we maybe go meet with Klaus?
Yes, Klaus, Counselor Wilhelm would like to see you. In fact.
Great.
Okay. So you can head down the dock. So Garmouche is currently guarding. He's now guarding. He's like offering to guard both ships.
There's gonna be people everywhere, but sure.
Yeah. So Garmouche looks at Shaw and he says, "Are you my father?" And Shaw's like, "No, get away from me." That's a joke from Dimension 20. So yeah. So Shaw asks you what to do about the half-orc kid that's trying to guard your ship.
Just leave him be, I guess.
Okay.
It's good for him.
Okay.
Toughen him up. It,
All right. So
it gives him some money.
All right. So you walk up the dock, following Salome, who is carrying, heavily armored, carrying a large clip.
We'll tell Maxim and Shaw that Garmouche and Aster, the two kids, can perform basic, like, servicing, like, with the water and stuff while they're here.
Oh yeah. He says, so these are the shore. These are the pillow turners, right? Good.
More trustworthy than the ones over there, for sure.
Yeah. So Shaw's gonna shout. He's gonna shout at Aster, and he's gonna say, "Child, come over here. We're going to need these decks swabbed and well." And Aster's like, "Well, that's going to cost you." And so immediately Shaw's negotiating, and yeah. So.
Great. In this element.
Yeah. So no, Shaw and Maxim are super happy that they get to be like mini bosses on a adventuring ship.
Yeah.
They figure if they don't get killed.
Yeah, I was gonna say until
get killed,
everybody dies.
They can retire in a couple of years. So. It's kind of like if you're like a person with some kind of a skill and you get hired by like a venture capitalist, and he sets you up in an empty office building and he's paying you $50,000 or $5,000 a day to just manage a website or something. And you're like, okay, I can do this, and you do a good job, but that's working for adventurers. So yeah, you might get killed. Yeah, it's possible. Yeah. All right. So so Salome brings you across town. She there's a stagecoach, like a nice ornate coach, that she rides in front of, and you guys pile into the back. She's like, "Would you like to get into my wagon?" She laughs. Remember that? That was only 2 weeks ago, and you were afraid to get into the.
That was not very long
Yeah,
ago.
holy
Yes,
shit.
I think it's too soon to make that joke. That's all I'm saying.
It's like my
I feel like I've deserved this. I feel like I've deserved this Uber X ride.
It's a lift. All right. Yeah. So you travel. He says the counselor is currently at City Hall, and so this is where we will go.
Oh, cool.
I keep forgetting to speak with like a Eastern European accent for her, but I can't do that. So, do I even have a map of the city? I don't. I guess I have to go back to the landing page. That's where the map is. Here it is. Yeah, so the City Hall, where is City Hall even? It's probably in the Bankers Ward, right in the middle of the town there, so... yeah, so it's
Where
a
are
huge
we?
stone...
We're in the Old Dock Way.
Yeah, you're in Old Dockway, right down there.
Okay.
And so, yeah, so you travel across... It takes like an hour to get across town in a stagecoach. 2 hours, probably. This is a big town. This is like the size of Paris, you know, in the 15th century, 16th century, 17th century, whatever. And so you eventually get to the Bankers Ward, and the City Hall is this huge stone building built very ostentatious. It's less than 200 years old, since the city was pretty much razed by the Sky Pirates. And yeah, so Salome says we shall go up to the offices. The counselor is currently on the floor debating. He will be up momentarily. We did not expect you. Well, I mean, I headed over as soon as I heard about your wonderful vessel. How fast can she go?
Ooh,
She kind of like
super
talks
speedy.
over her shoulder.
Super speedy.
Many knots.
All the knots.
Jackie, you figure she was going 40 knots.
What the fuck?
I figured she was going 40 knots.
Yeah, I mean, when word gets back that your ship kind of cut behind and jumped over the wake of the, of the Leviathan, everyone's going to be like, it's a legend. It can't be true. Yeah. So she kind of raises her eyebrows. She's like, 40 knots?
Oh my god, we're already a legend?
That's a
love
lot.
it.
Well, when the ship arrives, it'll be a legend. I mean, hundreds of people saw it happen.
No, it's true, I swear, I was there! I didn't have my phone out though. Damn.
Yeah. There was a huge wave, and you did a half pipe, and then you did like a.
And I landed it, I swear!
All right, so yeah, so she leads you up some echoing stone corridors. There are lots of city guard, and there seem to be city guard, but they're like in the red cloaks, I think they were. But there also seem to be some gold cloaked guards of the type that came with Councillor Klaus when you were at the Red Guild. Remember you were at the guild and then a bunch of guards showed up and you're like, oh shit, we're in trouble now. And it turns out they were working for Councillor Klaus.
Yeah.
So he seems to have his own force of guards, or maybe they're different guards, but they seem to be at odds with the Red Cloaks, who are the city guards that are also guarding in this place. Like every spot where there are Red Cloaks, there are Yellow Cloaks, sort of like matching them in numbers, and they're facing each other across the hallway. You hear shouting down on the commons floor, and Salome says, "Oh, things are getting heated. The vote for the bill is today, and the councillor is hoping to use his advantage to pass a bill that will abolish slavery in this city."
Do you need key speakers?
Will abolish slavery in this city. No, only only councillors may speak. In fact, the vote is happening now. You can hear them shouting yeas and nays. Only councillors may speak.
Oh shit!
The vote is happening. Yeah. So she says, in fact, would you like to watch the proceedings?
I mean, sure.
So she ducks into a doorway like that, where there's a curtain and there's like a gallery that overlooks this huge chamber with stone. With like tiered seating. It's almost like an auditorium, and there are like I forget how many councillors I said there were. I think there's like 100 councillors, like a room full of shouting men, women, humans, non-humans, and they seem to be like in there's the left wing and the right wing, shouting at each other, one side versus the other. And Councillor Klaus is on the podium right now talking, and he says, and in conclusion, if we pass this bill, immediately, as discussed in the bill, slavery will be instantly outlawed. And
I thought it was already outlawed. I'm confused.
And we will finally join the ranks. Salome says, it is illegal to bring in new slaves, but it is not illegal to keep slaves.
Oh, existing slaves are grandfathered in.
Exactly.
I see.
The councillor is trying to erase this loophole, but he has much opposition.
Because it's hard to prove whether they're new or not, I guess.
With Senator Camacho's death, the councillor thought that he had an advantage, but it seems that Councillor Zeldan has rallied the opposition and used leverage.
Oh, wait.
And so the vote is very close.
Can I tell Salome? We found some correspondence with proof of two lords, one lord and a councillor's involvement in the slave trade.
Well, the vote is taking place now. I feel it is too late for this information to sway this vote.
What the fuck? But they're literally, it's not legal. They should be arrested.
Can we get our little bird to go deliver a message for us?
He's dead.
Ooh.
Well, Aiden, you can with an action, you can expend one of your.
Can I cast message?
I'm confused.
Yeah, you could expend one of your wild shapes to summon Smokey. For an hour.
Well, can I cast message to the counselor?
You have to be within 100 feet. So you have to get. You'd have to get. I think
120.
I think you'd have to make some kind of roll to get a little closer.
Okay.
Because currently you're like on a stone balcony, and you feel like you'd have to be like 20 feet closer. So you'd have to go back down and in through some doors.
Okay.
And Salome says, but you will give a message to the counselor about things that you know. We need proof. Without proof, nothing can be done.
Well, we have the notes, right? Is that proof? I mean, it is.
Well, then we should get the notes to the counselor.
Okay, so yeah, Smokey should go.
All right.
Okay,
yes.
I can do that. Yeah.
All right.
Let's
so
do it.
You want to summon Smokey?
But can I also try and message him so he knows what they are about without having to read them?
Sure. Yeah. So he's like, and in conclusion, but you're gonna have to get closer. So you have to rush out into the hallway, down the hall, and then through a couple of guards. So how will you get past the guards? We're going to dungeon world this, like just with a simple die roll, and then we can behave based on what the die roll is. So how do you want to get past a couple of guards? They're basically a couple of 11 hit point. You've killed many of these guys before.
I'm not fucking killing anybody, man.
No, but I mean, you've overcome, and it's in a.
Is there just two like in the hallway?
Well, there are two guards in red guarding the door, and then two guards in yellow, like sort of facing against them, and they don't seem to be on the same team. They don't seem to be like happy to be across from each other. The guards in yellow are the guards that Councillor Wilhelm had with him last time he came to the Red Guild.
Like I'd have to be on the other side of the doors.
Yes. Like open the doors and walk down a little bit to get closer.
Can I maybe try and cast sleep?
Yeah, you want to sleep the two guards that are by the door?
Well, as many as I can get. There's four of them, right?
Yeah, sure. You're going to cast it as high level as possible?
I cast it as a second level. Wow, 33.
What?
Holy shit, 33 hit points. So there are four guys with 11 hit points each.
Woo! She got
kind of
three of them.
So does the whole group of you come down the hallway?
Where? Are we on a map? I don't see a map or anything. What is happening?
It's not really a map. We're like in a big judging.
Oh, so just zoom in, just zoom in on the map of the city. I'm just basically saying that you went to city council, and I'm just describing it because I don't have a map of city council.
Okay.
Basically, your bird has to bring the paper, and I'm gonna try to cast message to the counselor so he knows what the papers are about, and then he can just say, "I have proof of whatever."
Got it.
Okay.
Like, I don't want to kill anybody, but I don't want to get.
So you cast sleep, and then like the two guards.
And then I'll just muscle my way, and I'll just go.
Are you casting it closer to the guards in red or the guards in yellow?
Whoever seems like they're gonna stop me the most.
The guards in red seem to be like they'll stop you the most.
They are not gonna.
So you put the point of origin closer to them so that they go to sleep first. So the two of them kind of like they yawn, and they sit on the ground, and they just kind of lean up against each other. And then on the other side of the hallway, one of the guards in yellow like yawns and then sits down on the ground and and then the fourth guard kind of like
I'll just speed through really fast and go, urgent message for the counselor, urgent message for the counselor.
He tenses up and he turns to you, and Salome. Salome shouts, "As you were!" And he turns surprised to Salome.
Oh shit!
And he's like, ah! That was a pretty bad roll. He's like, Commander Salome, what are you doing here? And he kneels down to wake up his friend who's down.
I'm gonna keep going.
Okay. So Salome stays with him, and you just kind of open the doors.
Just enough that I can cast message.
Yeah, so you they have like panic bars on them. You push on the doors and they open into the room, and it's just like in those courtroom dramas. He's about to rest his case, and then bang, the doors bang open, and you're like it's like a long stair or ramp that leads all the way down to the podium, like 120 feet away, with like tiered seats on both sides. Make a perception check.
Oh shit! I'm scared. Natural.
There are a couple of turtles down way at the bottom on the left side that turn and look at you, and you see the counselor, and he looks up and he says, one moment please, I believe I might have one more thing to say. And so you take like 10 steps into the room, and you can so what do you tell him with your message?
Okay, well, is the paper at him yet?
So Aiden, you're at City Council, and all you know is you need to get these papers that you took from Captain Devereaux to Councillor Wilhelm, who is currently at the podium. And so, Did you summon Smokey?
I did.
All right, so you snap your fingers, or you light a cigarette, or whatever it is, and Smokey.
That's so cool.
So you kind of give him the papers, and Smokey can fly them out to the counselor. So what are you going to say to the counselor? You see Smokey heading over there with the papers.
Okay. I'm going to say, Counselor, proof of cool green shells, Lord Catabatic and Counselor Zeldan's involvement as slave traders and owners. Lord Catabatic has Fire Genasi working for him as we speak.
He says, "Oh, well, I would like to request a 5-minute recess. New evidence has come to light that might affect the upcoming vote." Yes. Yes. Thank you. And then there's like the counselors on both sides are starting to shout and stand up and so on.
Yeah.
And so the papers arrive to him, and he takes them from. Actually, you don't see his hands. His hands are behind the podium. He always has that weird sleeve thing. His mage hand kind of reaches out and grabs and takes the papers, and he starts looking at them, and he looks up. He looks up at you, Nadal, and then I guess the rest of you might be standing behind Nadal. I don't know. Jackie, you're like, thank God I didn't shoot my guns.
But it's not too late.
He looks at the two turtles in the front row who are like, they're all dressed like Roman senators. This is, after all, a Mediterranean climate. They're all wearing togas and stuff. And
I've got my two guns at the ready.
There's like a green one and a brown one. Sorry?
I've got my two guns at the ready. I don't trust those turtles.
Yeah, so he says, oh, well, I have some information here that seems to implicate certain members of the assembly, and that I feel should invalidate their vote. I would call the bailiff. And so, a lot of people on the side that's against him are all standing up and saying, "This is outrageous! This is preposterous!"
I mean, they should be arrested too. Fuck.
And in fact, guards start rushing, towards the podium, and then guards start clashing in the aisles. Where you are, the guards that are asleep, kind of like they're sprawled. The guards start coming in down the hallway, and the yellow guards seem to be fighting against the red guards. And in fact, the two turtles stand up, and they seem ready for a fight. So. I think we can end this session here,
What the fuck?
and then next week we can have a fight at City Hall.
Roll initiative. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was fucking cool. Yes, the birds are living the paper. Yeah, that's cool.
So I hope that was okay. That was one entire session without any fighting or any shit like that.
I like, and right after Jackie gets her 2 guns.
Yeah.
That was just
Sorry,
killing
Jackie.
me.
Yeah.
Can we go like skeet shooting or something so I can just like.
Well, we might
She wants
have
to
to
use
next
that
time.
second pistol.
I gotta give Hilly a test.
I guess my concern would be, how do I get to the counselor?
Why do you want to get to the
Because-
counselor?
Well, 'cause I'm afraid he's gonna get ganked. Next-
Well, I mean, I'll have a nice map next week and everything. So.
Cool. Okay, cool. I really have to freaking pee, so
All right, so I hope that was okay. So, if anybody watched this stream tonight, I don't even know because I haven't been paying attention to.
Yeah, we had a couple viewers. I'm so mad that stupid ad is still under review. Normally they go so much faster than that. But
waffle.
Like, did you include pictures and stuff like that, or?
yeah, so it's probably the audience that's taking so long to review and stuff. But I have a story video that has like a live on Twitch flashing thing and everything, and I was gonna advertise it to like a whole bunch of people who like D&D and Twitch and all this stuff. But for next week, I suppose.
Oh, waffle, good waffle.
That's a waffle.
You know, again, we would love to babysit Waffle for a week, but we can't have both cats. So there's going to be a week in April where Catherine's going to be at a cottage north of Montreal, and we don't know if her internet will be good. So could be rough. So you might just be on audio. I don't know. Could be.
We can always like just kind of squish on either end of him, like push that week back and kind of work around it.
Well, we could try, but yeah.
I'm gonna go visit.
I hate missing a week because we haven't missed a week yet, and it's just we're on a roll, man. So
Yeah.
hey, if this ever gets boring, let me know. We can skip a week, So yeah.
No, I'm not bored. Okay, I gotta go because I have to pee.
All right.
So,
So good night.
That was good.
Congratulations,
Thank you.
JS.
Thank you.
We'll
yes.
see you next week.
Thank you,
at
thank you.
3 Pacific Wednesday.
Yeah, luck of the Irish, I guess. That's why you're wearing a green turtleneck today.
Yep.
Look on, find your pot of gold.
Yeah,
yeah.
time to go
Right.
get a